Beautiful. All right. We're on. Welcome to the show, everyone. Carpet Punter and Hendo tonight. How you going, man?
Good man, yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Like, no more lockdown. Hopefully that's the case moving forward.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Actually went to
still don't
Bunnings
really.
today for the first time in God knows how long.
Yeah, right. That's good. That's good. Yeah, we've been to a couple of joints. Like, went to one shopping centre that was, I don't know, I wouldn't say stressful, but it was like, yeah, see everyone and
Yeah,
you're
I
just
had
like, fuck.
a bit of social anxiety.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna take me a little while to just wear that off, I think. But no, it'll be all
Hey,
right.
Cody.
Hey,
G'day, mate.
Cody's here. CDC's here. What are the Powerball
CDC's
numbers,
in the
mate?
house.
Need some
Yeah,
Powerball numbers. That'd be great.
send them our way. That'd be awesome.
The Sabonis King. Yeah. So
So,
yeah,
yeah,
so
no,
it's good.
so
Sorry, go.
yeah, like everything's all free down there, eh? So, are you going back to work soon or anything? You got anything
Yeah,
back
yeah.
on?
So I'm back into the office tomorrow. So
Ooh.
it's one of those weird things where it's kind of like it's kind of good the F1s aren't on late night tonight, but then it's also so early that I'll probably be either getting ready or in transit or something when it's on. So
What do
I'll
you watch it on KO, don't you? So you can just watch the
yeah,
replay or whatever, eh?
yeah, I'll be able to get to it. It'll be all
Try and
right.
avoid the
But,
results if you really are that
yeah,
worried about it.
a couple of people in my office that I work with, like they're in my team. They're massive F1 folks, and they're quite often like as soon as you walk in the door on a Monday, going back a ways obviously, but it'd be just like they just look and you'd look at them and they'd look at you, and I'd already know the result, and yeah, my mate would just go, "Ah, I don't know anything." And it's like, but I'm really good at that. Like if someone doesn't know, like I think it's the worst when people go, "Oh, I won't say anything, man. I won't say anything." But oh, the end of that race is crazy. You're like, nah, man. Just go blank and just talk about something else. So I feel like I take quite a lot of pride in not being a spoiler. So yeah, I'll keep up that if I know the result.
Hey,
G'day, Peter
Peter.
B. Yeah, have had a nice weekend actually. Watched the missus
Peter's
play cricket
been
today, so that was good.
sending for heaps of photos of those bloody hand-drawn GPK wrestling things. I think he's a big fan of them. Have you seen
Oh,
those?
I haven't seen
Have you
those.
seen? Blake
I'm
opened
gonna.
that. They come out of that Transcendent box. You know that
I heard the hype around it.
WW. Yeah, I can't. I don't know how much things worth. 20 grand or some shit, right? Like it's a ridiculous
Mm.
amount. But like these things come out of there, and mate, they look awesome. Mate, I want one.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I
yeah.
saw everyone in the chat sort of talking about it. Like there's these like I'm not massively into wrestling, but at the same time, like any sort of cool cards come out. Like even UFC, I think I used to be into that a lot more than I am now. But when the UFC cards come out, like it's still fun to watch and see who wins what and who gets what. So I could probably, yeah,
Yeah, I
it'd
don't
be,
mind watching the break. Like, I'm not a massive UFC fan, but like
mm,
I'll watch it if it's if people got it on or whatever. But I don't really go. Like, I'm not going to pay $50 for pay per view or something. But like, um, yeah, like the cards are pretty sick. But to be honest, I actually like the older Tops UFC cards.
oh, okay. Didn't
Yeah,
Tyson do
I
some of
know
those?
everyone's a big fan of Panini and that, but I think that's where the money will be in the future is like the older school Tops Chrome UFC cards and things like
I
that.
went in
Yeah.
a couple of UFC breaks just because there was a fighter I used to watch um, called Dan Henderson, and
Hey, Clive.
hey, Clive's here. G'day, mate.
Andy. G'day, mate.
AB's here. He's saying hi before we watch a movie with the boys. Ah, that's nice. I went up to Clive's place last weekend, so he said he'd tune in and watch the show. So thanks, mate. Um, yeah, so I was trying to get a Dan Hendo card because back in the day before it all got branded up, all the different fighters used to come out and they'd have like a limited edition T-shirt, and they'd like I think there was like what were the brands? It was like Affliction. There was not Top Team.
Yeah, I don't know any of these. Eh?
I'm going back in the old school. I can't quite remember, but there was like maybe 3 or 4 designers and brands, and but the different fighters would all get a different like design, and they would sell it for a couple of pay-per-views, and yeah, it was kind of cool. Tap Out was the other one. Tap Out was a popular.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
remember they were everywhere. That tap out.
yeah. So I had
Yeah.
a Dan Henderson like a Hendo shirt, It looked pretty cool. So I was hoping I went in one, I think, or two UFC breaks, just trying to. I mean, again, it's like trying to random the Eagles and then get an Eagles
Bit of
helmet.
fun, mate.
Bit of fun. Have a bit of fun. So,
Yeah, that's
but
right.
yeah, it's been yeah, just on the weekend front, it's been good. I went and watched the missus play cricket today, and they play. I don't know if you remember playing cricket as a kid, but they used to call it like last man's tucker or last man standing. So now it's kind of like, last batter standing or whatever it is. But yeah, her whole team was out, and she had to get 34 runs off the last 5 overs, and she actually got it by herself, like just
What?
with no other batter, just like she was just like playing them off the legs, and then because the ball's gone behind,
Off
she
5 overs.
yeah, so she
So
ran
she's hit a
to
few
the other end.
boundaries in amongst that.
Well, no, just placing the ball, place, run, place,
Yeah,
run, place,
right.
run. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. So yeah, a couple of cheeky beers down the cricket. It was good.
Awesome.
But yeah, you couldn't see the scoreboard. You had to sort of go by, what everyone was saying. But no, it was good. So we caught the story at the end. So yeah, so it was a ripper. So yeah, I was quite proud of her for that. It was backs
Yeah.
against the wall, and she went and smacked him around the park. So that was great.
Yeah, good job, Mrs.
It's
Hendo.
yeah, yeah. She'll hate that because she's not actually Mrs. Hendo, but that's all right. I'm going to call her that for the rest of the week. She'll love it. But yeah, what about yourself, man? What have you been doing? You've been getting out and about. You
I just
leaving
been
even
doing
just
a
a
few
little bit.
things. Yeah, a little bit here and there. I've been buying a few things here and there on eBay. Just been planning a few things, next plays. Trying to find the next top scorer in Formula One out there that I can pick up dirt cheap and flip for 20x.
That's all right. Yeah,
Yeah. There's a few things there. Couple interesting things. Few interesting things going on in the card world because things seem like we're pretty quiet, pretty stale. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there seems to be a few there's a lot of money in businesses and that transacting behind the scenes. So it's like what's really like Fanatics bought in and they bought in right at the peak of all the hype and all that shit, and then it started dying down. Like, are they regretting their decision of that? No, I don't think they would be. They're too smart for that shit. They know what
I
they're
think they've
getting
got big
themselves into.
plans. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So that's what I'm like thinking. We're in like a calm before the storm now.
I was
Like,
literally just thinking those words in my
yeah,
head.
it's starting to
Yeah.
feel like that. Like it's sort of getting a bit boring almost. Like the card world, you know what I mean? Like a bit predictable, a bit boring, and that's typical, man. Where people start leaving, only people like us or whoever that's probably all the baseline crew here would just keep hanging around, because they love cards, they love the community, they love
Yeah.
and it's not just basketball; it could be anything, but any sport. But it just sort of feels a bit that way, and I'm thinking that I don't know when, but I'm thinking at some point I don't know. It could be, in a year, it could be 2 years or whatever. There's going to be another big upwards trend. Some
Yeah.
point.
Well, we've
Yeah.
talked about it offline quite a bit in terms of
I
just
think it'll
like,
pay to hang in there.
yeah, just sort of trying to figure out like where it's all going to go with the Fanatic stuff, and I don't think anyone really knows. But I mean, if any business is going to throw that much money behind something, they obviously feel it's got another, 2 or 3 or 4
Yeah,
peaks.
yeah.
It's not going to be a flash in the pan. Otherwise, they would have. You could have said they missed the boat,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't think they've missed the boat. I think
No,
there's
I don't
plenty
think so
plenty going
either.
on.
They're too smart. It's just they're too big a business to allow that to happen. You know what I mean? Like they would have
Mm.
done enough research and have enough inside knowledge
Yeah,
to make the shot, to make the call to say, yeah, we're going to invest, X amount of dollars in it and resources and whatever. And yeah, but
yeah,
no, I just want to see some more news, to be honest. I want to see I want to
yeah,
wake up one day and just see Fanatics bought Tops. Bang,
yeah.
oh fuck, here we go. What's going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, oh fuck, they bought Panini or whatever, or like Upper Deck even or something, like, yeah,
Well, you got to
I'm ready
think
for some.
there'll be another move or
Oh,
two
there
in it
has to be.
because
There has to be,
the
man.
amount of I guess the amount of people that are sort of looking at it and going, well, you've got your core group of creators or suppliers or whatever you want to call them, in the game at the moment, and then Fanatics make their move and go, righto, we're going to be the top dog. Then some of these other companies that have had a pretty good run for a while, they're going to have to either fall in line or take them on. I mean, they're going to have to find a new way of taking them on. So
yeah, they're gonna have to get creative.
everyone's going to get
Just keep doing the
creative.
same thing because they don't have a license anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at even just in a really small, example of it, I mean, if you look at what Panini have done with the baseball, now it might not be the most popular baseball products in the market, but they still get the job done. They still get product out there. They're still obviously making money from that. And
Oh, they must be, man. They must be making a fucking fortune
they would have ditched it.
off
I
that.
mean,
Even
they would have
unlicensed
leaned
stuff.
away from it. Yeah.
Yeah. Big, like in their other products like basketball and UFC or whatever else they're putting out there.
Mm.
There's money to be made in those products, like in the after sales. You know what I mean? So Panini aren't getting the whole share of the pie, right? But in those unlicensed MLB, they're pretty much getting 95% of the pie. Because there's really not much left. Like if you buy a box, the chances you're going to get your money back is fucking slim to none. Really. Like it's very rare unless you pull like some 101 thing or some sick, auto. Like I don't know, because it's just unlicensed and people just don't. Unless it, like if you got a Mike Trout, like if they were doing Donruss rated, like if you had a Mike Trout holo, and it was a PSA 10, okay, yeah, like rookie card, like rated rookie, okay, yeah, that'd be worth something, right? But
you're threading a needle, I guess, is what you're saying.
exactly, like I don't know. It just seems like but I can't help myself because it's sort of fun too. Because I really like some of the cards.
Yeah.
So,
No, but
because
it's good and it's good product.
Back in the day, Donruss had rated rookies as baseball. So like, and it's like they look identical except they're chrome now, but they look like identical to the old school. And I don't know. There's something fun about it to me. I like the cards, but it just sucks that they're not worth much.
No, it depends. It's switching your channels, I suppose, in terms of you make plays on things to make money, and then you make plays on things for the fun of it. And I guess it's a good thing about it being so diverse is that you can, if you want to have a crack at a certain product because you enjoy opening it, then great. That sort of stuff is still there. Because I think if everything, like anything, if everything was just built then to just be a lotto game, and you had to pay a shitload of money just to get a ticket into the lotto game, no matter what the product was or the player you're looking for or anything like that, then you would lose people that didn't necessarily want to go away from the hobby. Whereas if you can keep it diverse and you've got some things that are in there for value, other things are for sentimental, then anyone who wants to stick in the hobby can sort of get in where they fit in. So
check out some of these comments here. Buddy, Kai, that 5 wilts from last week was a cracker. The 5 wilts on the one team.
That's right.
5 wilts versus 5 Jordans.
Yeah. It's like the old 2K stuff. Hey,
Karina.
And
what's going on in the AFL? What's Peter B saying there?
Oh, I think the AFL stuff is definitely livening up.
Oh, the card stuff's livening up.
Yeah, I think it's already. I mean, again, and I've not. I don't profess to have I haven't been watching it for the last 3, 4, 5 years or anything like that. But even just in the last 12 months plus, I think the anticipation of the AFL products. I think the quality of a lot of the stuff.
Channel.
Yeah.
I think that.
Well, when Dale first did that, as I look at him over my shoulder, when Dale first did that, I was just like, I didn't think it was a bad idea, or anything like that. But I had this question mark in my head as to do you really want to split up the content
demand there
into 2 channels? Yeah, but I didn't think there was, and I
really
wrongly
sure.
wrongly didn't think there was. I was like, is it really going to work with 2 channels? And now you're splitting audiences, but what's really funny about it is that you've got people like Peter B and quite a few others.
Supremacy. The people speaking, they want supremacy.
Supremacy, yeah, okay. Is that the one? That's the one that Blake had a box of last year, I think, or was that Brilliance? I might be getting them around the wrong way. But he had a box that he opened for himself. So I remember he got Chris Mainwaring, I think he got.
Yeah, right. So how many different AFL products are there? Are they all made by Select? Select got the exclusive license?
Well, I don't think it's just Select, but I think most. It was Brilliance. Thank you, Peter Bate. Yeah, it's majority Select. I think from what I've been looking at,
Like,
you've
because
then
not
got your
only is there like, just heaps of people collecting like one set or whatever. Like, there's multiple sets that they're printing.
Hmm.
Like, you look at the NRL, I think there's one set, maybe two. One sort of basic type set and one sort of premium type set.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
about it. I think
interesting.
anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I'm pretty certain that's the case. But with AFL, like there's heaps, isn't there? Like, because I've seen Dale,
Yeah,
like when I've tuned in one of Dale's streams before, like I've seen, and you see on his desk there or whatever he's got, like there's like 5 or 6 different brands there, or like Optimum Supremacy, like whatever's there. Like I know there's that what's the one called, like at Coles and stuff, Footy Stars or something.
yeah. There's Footy Stars and there's the team coach ones, but I don't think they're.
Are
I
they
don't know.
just like kids
I don't
type
think they're the
ones?
same brand.
They're not like actual trading cards, or are they like stickers or something? What are they?
No, they're still trading cards. They're still trading cards, but I think it's
It's like the
having watched
hoops.
some of those breaks as well. Like, I mean, it's kind of like when Blake will open the Pokemon packs. It's like, yeah, there might be one, maybe two cards in there that you're hunting as like you chase, but the rest of them are just
Yeah,
base cards. So Dale will open them and he'll literally like he gets
yeah.
so
I've seen
used
when
to
he
it.
opened, he
He'll
basically just
slide. He'll
slides
slide the
10 cards
first.
across or something,
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's that when people are new to cards and they're new to watching breaks and everything, you can see them in the comments. They'll sort of be like, "Oh, slow down! Oh, what's going
why is
on?"
he skipping? I
You know?
can't even see all the
Yeah,
names.
yeah. Are you
Have
keeping them?
I got any cards yet?
Yeah. So it's I'll
Have
show
the
you.
Pacers got any cards yet?
Yeah. No, the Pacers don't ever have cards. Now that Big Goga's gone, he's not a rookie anymore. So Select has exclusive license for the hobby style cars. Team Coach has the
Okay.
gaming style
Oh,
license.
so
So they
Team
can,
Coach is an actual company name, is it? I thought
yeah,
that was just a brand. Oh, like a brand of like, and it was owned by Select or something. But okay, gotcha.
yeah, okay.
Right,
So that makes a lot of sense. I
tastes this.
can't believe CDC is giving shit to the Pacers. Come on, man. You probably won the best prize on the internet for Pacers themed situation. I still marvel at that shit. Anyway,
Oh mate,
um,
I'm 300 to 1. It's a 300 card set, and he picked it.
yeah, he picked it.
300 to 1.
Name and team, no worries, just whatever. Give me your next challenge, he says. Um, Andy B was just saying at the top there, Panini will go full on into soccer, and I think that is a magnificent call.
Yeah,
I think that's a magnificent
yeah,
call
he's
because
got that right.
as much as I've seen, and it's just my vibe. It's not like I have statistics or anything to back it up, but as much as I've seen AFL really lift the bar and get a lot of momentum, I reckon soccer's got a lot of momentum still to come. If you
Yeah,
if
we
you
might
think
not
of
see, like, AFL might be bigger in this country as terms cards go, but worldwide,
yeah, because if you
soccer
I don't know how
still
many
got a fair
soccer
way to
breaks.
go. I think. I
I
think it'll
watch a few
still
of the
get a lot
soccer
bigger.
breaks when they're in mixed in amongst the other stuff. So we were watching Blakey do his thing, and all of a sudden it'll be 2 or 3 soccer breaks. I'll always watch them. I've been in 1 or 2. I'm not
Yeah, I'd
massively
normally have
interested.
it on in the background if I'm doing something or
Yeah,
whatever.
and so I'll watch it, but you see a lot of names pop up. You see a lot of like even your layman that doesn't really know much about the game and the stars. Like I couldn't tell you who the hottest rookies are, or you know, oh
Yeah, I
that
got
guy's
no
going to be
idea.
huge or
I
anything like
know
that. But
Mbappe sounds like Mbop.
yeah, it's Saka,
Mbappe.
Osaka. Um, but yeah, like when that Lionel Messi card came out, like you just see the chat goes absolutely ballistic because it's
Oh
Lionel Messi.
yeah, I mean yeah, even I
Like
know
it's a
Messi.
big deal. But
Yeah, yeah.
even when we watched the banner locker when they had the soccer jerseys, baseball, ice hockey, they had basketball, NFL, they had them all mixed in. You would still see people if they drew like Brazilian national team. You just sweating
Oh
watching the
yeah, but the
page.
thing is that
You're just like, give me a Pele, man. Like
like most
it's
people in soccer, I would say value a signed soccer jersey by their favourite player more than a signed basketball jersey. Don't necessarily say favourite player, but just in general, because just the memorabilia side is a bit bigger, I think. Whereas in American sports, memorabilia is big, don't get me wrong, but trading cards is just massive. Whereas soccer, that's still, like in Europe, it's been stickers for so long. You look in the 80s and 90s and that, and it's all, even in motorsports and that, they've been making stickers, but
Yeah.
like not actual cards. And it's only in the like 90s and like late 90s and 2000 that they really started, kicked off. And then like Prism was only not that long ago. I don't know whenever the first soccer Prism was, but that really wasn't, that was only like 5 years ago or something.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like, it's still got a long way to go, I think, before it'll really hit its peak. But it's just because, like, I think the overall market, it still follows that trend as well. The whole overall trading card market.
Yeah.
But if you look at the high end stuff, man, it still sells. Like you look at gold and auctions, it's still freaking massive sales going on.
Yeah. That's why
That
F1's got such a high ceiling as well, I think, because of its global reach. And I think
it
the soccer
does.
would be the
Yeah,
same. Can you imagine
100%,
like
man.
a
Exactly.
relic?
You're exactly right.
Yeah, imagine like
And
those.
it's soccer's even bigger. As you know, it's probably
Yeah,
10 times bigger. Like even not bigger than that. Like
yeah.
it's because it's so
Can you
big. Yeah.
imagine like a banner locker type scenario where I don't know, you put $50 in each, and you've got a chance of getting, I don't know, a Daniel Ricciardo glove, or
Oh yeah.
one of those signed wheels or something. Pole position
They
race
can do it,
X.
but like
Yeah,
there's
but can you
a
imagine the hype around it, even for people that aren't even massively
you'd be
into
all
F1
over it.
yet? You'd be pumped straight away because
Oh
of the
hell yeah.
worldwide reach.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, I think sent me something. Good. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I think with American sports, a lot of people will have like I'm either an NFL guy or I'm a basketball guy or I'm a baseball guy. Like you can merge them, and you might pick a team in a city and you sort of merge them. So American sport kind of becomes one interest. And so when you see
Yeah.
banner come up, you're like, yeah, shit, man, I'd take a baseball jersey. That's awesome. Whereas some of those like soccer and F1, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but they almost sort of sit out there on their own.
Yeah.
And you could combine all the American sports and sort of be the same as those other two. I
It's
don't know.
rare
That's how
it's
it feels.
rare. Like there's a lot, like in soccer, how often would they give up a game used jersey? Like if they do, they're swapping it with other fucking players, with the other team. So
So they'd have
you
to
know what
shut
I
that
mean?
down.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
like these companies don't even have a chance to get a game used jersey. So like I'm sure they can, but it's on a very limited scale compared to the NBA who play 82 games in a season.
Mm.
They probably can get a new jersey every freaking game. Like
Yeah. Well, players used to
so
throw them out to the crowd and they get
yeah.
too
So
technicals. They take the top off and throw it in the crowd and walk off the court.
it's just so much more accessible, like to those companies and that, because there's I think one day it'll happen, towards soccer, but I think those jerseys are just a bit more valued, a bit higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to show some of Peter B's supremacy cards from 2019. So these look cool. It's got Dangerfield, Chappie,
They're fucking
Matthew
nice cards,
Scarlett.
aren't they?
Yeah. Tom Harley. I don't
I
remember
sort
his
of
name
wish I
for a
was an
while.
AFL fan, eh? Like, it's not that I
Hmm.
hate it. I just don't really, there's only so much room you can have for sport, but
Yeah.
so I've just sort of avoided it. But like, they're friggin' nice cards. Like some of those autos are really nice too.
Yeah. Maybe there's a bit of a difference with with the autos and the effort and all that. Because can you imagine being a 20-year-old kid? You got millions of dollars, you got an 82 game season, and
Don't give a
yeah,
shit.
and this bloke's like, yeah, you got to sign these 1,000 cards before next Sunday. You're like, man, I've got PS5 to play. I want to go out and have some drinks. Like that's why you got like a little Kobe White, like just squiggle, move on, squiggle, move on, squiggle. Whereas these guys,
Man,
I
they
don't know,
must
what's
walk
that,
into a room.
55, 70? Oh, that's not an auto, but
I just imagine
55.
there's a room like an old classroom size room, right? That these
Yeah.
players walk in there, and imagine all the desks in your old classroom that you had at high school, right? and on those desks is just sheets and sheets of these stickers, and every single one's clear, and they're just like, okay, can you just sign every single one of these, please? And in that room, there might be 10,000 of those stickers. That's what That's honestly the way I imagine it, eh?
Yeah, because can you imagine just the stickers just being laid out, like you said, on this big table?
They'll just be on a big sheet, you know,
because you got no idea what it's going on. you
exactly
don't
right,
even know.
and they'll just say, "Here you go, just sign this sheet of stickers."
You're contractually obliged to sign these stickers.
And then they have in the corner over there another desk with like 10 cards. Oh, can you just put these on card? We need to have a few on card, please.
Yeah. I think Andy B's right too. He's saying, I've got no doubt that the soccer teams change their jersey at halftime and sell them off. I would say it goes beyond that, beyond soccer for sure. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you if you're working it backwards in your mind of like what we can get access to, what we can make money from?
Yeah, exactly right.
They all go into the locker room at halftime. You know, you could make enough money that you could get the equipment manager as part of their job to go, righto, guys, ditch the jerseys, pop them in the bag. He goes and sorts them all out, puts them in bags, sends them off to wherever they got to send them. Like, they'd make enough money out of that you could make that part of a full-time role within a professional sports team. I have no doubt in my mind.
For sure, 100%.
But yeah, game use this, game use that. It's funny
if
that's where the market's going, it's going to become more and more and more prevalent. It's like when social media managers, that role, people used to go, oh, geez, you know, like, how hard can it be? And then a few companies really fucked up with their social media and said things that got them in a lot of trouble. And all of a sudden, having someone responsible for a brand sort of position in social media is all of a sudden one of the more valued roles for a large company. So the needle moves all the time. And I think if there is to be another boom and all that sort of money to be made, and, you know, the complexity of the market just changes, you know, another 3 or 4 or 5-fold, then these are the results of it. You're going to have networks of people that work in a completely different way with professional sports teams to what they may have done 5 or 10 years ago.
You know, I'm just thinking about it now. You know how like Panini are releasing all these cards, all these relic cards and rookie RPAs or whatever, and like the jerseys have got like no affiliation at all, and like it's like napkin. They've just got a napkin, and like on the back it says this piece of apparel has no affiliation to any player or any team or whatever. Blah blah blah. You're just like, what?
They have to say it.
What are they doing, right? What, you know, honestly, I reckon they're going to be fucking worthless in a few years. Because Fanatics is going to come along and they're going to fucking bamboozle the trading card world with some sick relics that are game used, authentic, with the date and the fucking, you know, this game number, you know, 2 in the fucking finals or some shit.
Yeah.
You know,
45-point game. Or
yeah. And they're going to blow it. And mate, they are just going to look like absolute pieces of shit. Any relics from this era. I honestly, that's what I believe, eh?
Yeah.
The only ones that'll be worth anything are actual game worn ones, if you can find them in this era, you know. So,
but it creates new tiers, though. What you're saying is, because I could have I don't know, let's use whatever. Like, let's just say it's Luca. He's sitting behind me. If I had a Luca, napkin patch or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's
I think they're genuine. I think I'm not 100 because I don't know. I wish I had one, but I think it's only this year they brought it in because of COVID. But
yeah, okay. But I'm just saying, like, let's just say that's the first one I got. I would have it up here. I'd be like, oh wow, I've got this thing. But then if I get my hands on one that's game worn, then that goes to the top. But then if you move the bar again and go, right, it's game used and it's got a QR code on the back, it takes you to the box score of the game. So you know exactly what game this.
Could you imagine that? It takes you to the fucking Top Shot moment.
Yeah,
Top Shot moment to that fucking player's highlights and shit.
You get the card, you get the NFT as well, or something like that. Like, you just got to register it. It's just a redemption code.
Are endless, mate.
Yeah, but it's about the data. So, like, the card could be amazing, and the jersey could be amazing. The game that he played in could be amazing. But tying it all together, then you've got to you truly own a small little piece of that moment in the sport, because, you know, you've got the NFT, you've got the card, you've got a piece of the jersey. Like, you can honestly say then that's as close as we've ever been to owning a part of that moment. So there's a huge ceiling for it. And if you didn't take that same theory and apply it to what we talked about before with soccer, or it could be a World Cup, soccer World Cup moment, or it could be Game 7 of the World Series,
That's right. It's
or
not
it could be
exclusive to basketball, correct?
you could go to all
Incorporate it
sorts of
anywhere.
levels.
That's right.
It'd be massive. It'd be massive, and people will still find a way to be somewhat upset about it. But 'tis the game.
I think vintage stuff, and when I say vintage and modern, not ultra modern, will continue to, do well over time. But I really worry about this time period we're in now. I think if you can pick and choose your cards, there's some really nice cards out on the market. Yeah. But like, there's a lot of shit out there. Really, there's a lot.
I think it's strangely though. I could look at it another way, right? And I'll tell you why. Because someone in one of I've minimized how many Facebook card groups. I scattered myself around early, and it's just too much info. So one of the ones, I can't remember what it is, but they were looking for Jaworski, Ron Jaworski he's an old school Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah, right.
And this guy it was like yesterday, he put out the word like, I'm looking for this with an auto. And literally no one answered. Like someone sort of answered 12, 14 hours later, just going like, who? Like sort of just making a joke. And so I thought, well, I'll pop up. I mean, I know who he's talking about.
Yeah.
And so all I wrote was like, I don't have any autos, man, but good luck. Like this guy's a legend. Go Birds or whatever. And we were back and forth in the comments for a second, and I just sent him a couple of pictures of literally the old school. What are they? $5 a pop, kind of 60s and 70s type cards.
Yeah. And
his comment back to me though was just like, like with awesome old school stuff like that, like they're almost better than an auto to me. He goes, but I don't reckon you part with them. Now it's a weird position for a collector because like I know I can go and scour eBay and get them sent to ShipMyCards, and I could probably get those cards again for $5. So if that guy wanted them for 50 each, should I sell them, or should I point out to him where he can get them from? Like, there's no wrong answer. I mean, if people want to sell them, they can sell them. I just said I wasn't getting rid of them, but I just said to him, I go, you go look on eBay, bro. Like, they're out there. I don't need to. I don't want to get rid of them, so there's no real question for me.
I would have bought the other ones first.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm like that. I can't help myself. I wouldn't have done it if I'm mates with the guy or any of you blokes or something in Discord. But like, it was just some random.
Well, I didn't know the guy, but I was like, well, I'm not getting rid of him, so it's all good. But yeah. Vincenzo's here. G'day, mate.
That AFL date stamped the patches. So their game used, and they tell you what date and what game they were used in. Hey, Sense.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. So we're coming up with brand new ideas that someone's already come up with. Revolutionary baseline drunks.
Some of the old Upper Deck jerseys and that, like there's a Jordan one out that's a sick one that was used. I think I can't remember what it was used in, and like it gives you the date and whatever on the back.
Yeah,
might be that All-Star one. One of his.
That would take it to another level. It would definitely do it. It creates tiers and it creates value, and I think that's what they're going to be looking at doing.
That's right. It moves into that whole memorabilia realm. Like
you've got to create tiers though, because otherwise it's finite. So you've got, to just talk randomly here, but you've got a base card, then you've got a refractor, then you've got it to 99, then you've got a 75, a 50, a 25, a 5.
Or you got every color under the fucking rainbow.
But you've got tiers, right? So one is not on its merits. You hold the two like this. They're not that much different to each other, but it's the exclusivity. It's at the heart of all collecting is how likely am I to get this again? I have to get it now. I want it. I'm a collector.
Yeah,
and so if you take that to the next level, yeah, of course. But even if you're collecting a set, it becomes a mission for you to get all the tiers, because I don't want someone to have one of the tiers that I don't have, right? It becomes a bit of a personal challenge to yourself or whatever.
You want to be the big dog.
Well, if you want to say like, I've got, I collect this guy, and someone says, yeah, but do you have this one? You're like, fuck, no, I don't. So it's like, the more tiers you can create, I think the more money there is to be made, and based on that Fanatic stuff, absolutely, they could create they could create new tiers effortlessly with what they've got behind them.
Oh yeah.
Then if they partner with someone else who's already up to speed with the NFT game, I mean,
which
who
I'd
knows?
have no doubt that they're already either into that or heavily invested in some blockchain company or some shit, or multiple blockchain companies, and they probably just wait and see how it plays out, and then okay, these guys look like they're going well, let's run with them. I'm
the
sure they've
baseball
got
did it.
multiple contingencies in place,
Yeah.
for that sort of thing. They would.
There's
definitely.
too much money at stake for them not to have some pretty cool ideas.
What I want to know is how does the licensing work for that? Because it seems like any man his dog can come along and just get an NBA or an MLB or whatever. Because a few years ago, right now, this is back when I was bigger into crypto and all that. They were talking about releasing these things called MLB. What were they? Crypto fucking. I don't know. They were these little statue things, but you're supposed to be able to use them in a game. So if you bought the game, these players.
Yeah, I remember some of that with video games. They did where you could buy the toy, and then something about the toy was unique that you could use in the game.
Yeah, so this is like crypto. So it was the NFTs. This is real early days of NFTs, right?
Yeah.
So they weren't even called NFTs yet, as
No,
such.
it wasn't cool
they
yet.
weren't a well-known. It was still known as a non-fungible token, but it wasn't like everyone knew that acronym. But yeah. So, but MLB since there's 4 or 5 different MLB NFT things that are out there. There's trading cards. There's those things. There's I don't know. There's a few other different things, and you're just how does it work? Because they're not. It's not like trading cards where okay, you can have a license and say okay, only you can make trading cards for NBA, right? Done.
Mm.
There's no other forms of trading cards. You know, it's like trading cards. Doesn't matter how big or small they are or whatever. But NFTs, there's different versions of them, and they do different things and have different utilities and that. And it's how are they going to license all that? Is there going to end up being 100 different NBA NFTs out there? You know what I mean? Before one day the NBA smartens up and goes, oh, fuck, we better pull it in. Because right now they're at the point where if, say, me and you wanted to create an NBA NFT and we go knock on the door and we can prove, hey, we can do it or whatever, and we're going to use this blockchain or whatever, they would just approve it, I reckon, because it's like a license to print money. You know what I mean? So they're at the point now with NFTs of what junk wax era basketball and cards and baseball cards were, where they were just handing licenses out willy-nilly to any fucking company. You know what I mean? And they're just printing them whatever, and then they'll get to one point where they realize, hang on, now we've actually done ourselves a disservice. You know what I mean? We've got to the point now where the market's just absolutely flooded and inundated, and it just nobody wants to collect this shit anymore. You know,
the land grab.
I wonder
if
NFTs are going to be like that. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, it'd still pay to have the say Series 1 Top Shot and things like that, because they're the real early days. But going forward, you know what I mean? In the next few years, I don't know if it'd be really worth buying any of the latest shit that comes out. You know what I mean? Because I'm now that whole market's just been fully diluted now. You know, there's just every man his dog's fucking creating NFTs. Yeah, not every NFT can go up in value. And if the only reason people are buying them is because they go up in value, if there's no other reason why they're buying them, well, eventually they'll go down. You know
that's like Instagram. I always joke about
speculation.
No one posts triple quarter pounder and a large Coke at 3 a.m. in the morning. # clean eating. No one does that. Everyone posts the celery and hummus they had at 4 p.m.
Yeah,
that's the message they want to put out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you talk to anybody that's into NFTs, unless they're actually honest, like a mate or whatever, and they're actually honest with you, people go, "Oh yeah, it's great. You know, you can make heaps." How have you done out of it? You know what I mean? Most people aren't winners out of it. Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of winners because there's a shitload of people in the space. So there's still a lot of winners out there. But the majority of people, and that's just life in general. You know, majority of people can't win. That's just the way that the markets work. It's just not how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like Pack Wars.
I just feel it's getting a bit that way with that, and that's sort of why I sort of avoid that area now. You don't see me in the Top Shot chat too much anymore, and that
Did you give up your admin title? Did you
yeah, I'm a bit like,
threw it all away.
I don't know. I think I'll just, hang low. I've done all right out of it for a while. I'll see what happens now.
Yeah. Well, Cody just said before that someone must have challenged me to an Lacey off. That's why I bought so many Lacey's.
Oh,
we were just talking before about the different tiers, and you know, you gotta gotta catch them all. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
I hope everyone, if they're buying NFTs, I hope they fucking skyrocket though. I hope I'm totally wrong. Honestly, I do.
Well,
I hope you just make a fucking killing out of it. Some of you boys in the chat going hard at some of them. It's good. Like, I really do. Like, I say all that, but that's just me putting my own money in, you know? When I see you boys, anybody else buying, I'm like, fuck, I hope that goes skyrocket. I just want to see, like, again, somebody, oh, fuck, mate, I just sold an NFT for 5 ETH. You know, some shit. We're like, what the fuck? You bought it, you paid 0.1 or some shit, you know what I mean?
We'd all be
like,
cheering.
Oh, mate, fuck yeah.
We want someone to win. We want someone to win so we can live vicariously through them. Mayo's here. He had an old man nap on the couch, so that's good. I'll tell you now, if I have an old man nap,
love that.
Those old man naps sometimes turn into, well, I might as well just stay here for the night and I'll wake up in the morning. So the fact that he's up and about, well played.
Good on you, mate. You see, Cody's mate has made good coin out of it. So he knows someone personally. And like, that's it. There are people out there that have done really well out of it. But
Vincenzo's saying about the 76ers having an NFT coming out and it's separate to Top Shot. So that's kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, the Chicago Bulls already released one. I was in a Chicago Bulls Discord and I got invited somewhere along the line and they released like a whole line of bloody NFTs, and I was just like, but it was done through, I think it might have been done through Dapper. I think that's why I got I think I got an email from Dapper telling me about it. So Dapper was like obviously going around to teams and doing individual NFTs for them as well.
I saw Peter B's comment about the DigiHorses, so I was like trying to log into it. It'd probably be my first login for a couple of months, Peter. But
I got like $4 fucking WETH or whatever it is, and a couple hundred ETH or whatever in me MetaMask thing. But it's just like, I'm not sending it over and paying $70 USD gas or whatever it is at the moment. Like,
it's so bad.
Like,
I got to a point where I had
off, man.
I got to a point where I had enough for a couple of races or whatever, but I had it all in my. I just had it as ETH in my MetaMask, and it like to put it in dollar terms, it was going to cost me $70 USD to send over $20 USD to do some races. I'm like, well, this is a bit of a roadblock for old Hendo. I might just wait a while.
I know they're working on that, because there's other chains around that are like, don't work off a proof of work because it's proof of work system they use. But and like, there's other chains around that don't use that, and like, there's nowhere near the gas fees. There's just a set gas fee of this minute amount, and because there's so many transactions that are done, it's still profitable, to be a miner on that network. So it's just much better than ETH long term, but it's just ETH's like so popular at the moment. That's why it's worth so much. But really, it's fucking a piece of shit. Honestly, like it is, man. Like the actual network, Ethereum network, is fucking shit. It is a shit network. It is old, and there's much better out there. But like, it's just because all these companies have committed so much resources to it, and so many people are so heavily invested in it now. It's just become the norm. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like nobody's gonna jump ship. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like all of a sudden Ethereum's gonna go, hey, we're just going to close the network down or whatever because it just doesn't function properly now or whatever. They're not going to do that. There's too much money involved. Billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. Yeah, like, I don't know, mate. It's like a catch-22. But
I tried to bring up the DigiHorses and I'm having trouble. But what I will show is, before it plummets again, we'll show the old COCO. Have a look at him go.
What's going on there? Did I read that you bought back in, did you?
I was going to buy back in.
Oh,
it's the old story. I was going to buy back in down here somewhere, and now it's up here again. Fucking story of my life with this coin. But yeah, I'm probably still behind. such is crypto life. But anyway, but yeah, 7698. That's as high as it's been for a while. So it was getting around down here. It's not a fun place to play down here. But it got up to 2 zeros, not 3 zeros, going back a ways. And so it's got room to keep going up. So we'll see
what
what's
happens,
going on.
man, with these coins, right? Like, just from what I've observed, is they'll bounce for a while, right? Like, you'll see a few spikes like this. They suddenly go up and they suddenly go down, and they suddenly go up and suddenly go down, and and then eventually they stay up. That peak where it's at, it stays up there and it becomes the norm. So you need to get in there before it fucking does. This is just trends that I've observed over time. So like, I would. If you're keen on it, wait, see if it drops again.
If it drops back down, to here again, if it drops down here,
never buy in the green. Buy in the red. No. Always buy in the red. Don't buy in the green. You see coin green, just look away. Fuck that shit. It's too late. It's too late. You missed the boat. It's done. Just accept it. Just forget the FOMO. Forget the fuck. I'm gonna get on now and nah. Because you know what? There's a high chance it'll end up dropping back below that. More than 50% chance that it'll end up going below that again. So like, you better to just wait. So sometimes you may lose. Like, it's not that it's a 100% formula. You buy high, sell low. Oh, sorry, I got it all wrong. Sorry, guys. It's not financial advice. Listen to Cody.
Oh dear. So I'll tell you, do we want to move away from crypto?
Come on, I'm just banging on about bloody anything right now.
No, you're right, mate. You got the knowledge. I'm happy to hear the knowledge. I just thought we could maybe try and switch this, buy low, sell high scenario into maybe some NFL tips. Maybe, do we think we're a chance to even just tip like 6 games correctly this week? Do we think we're even remotely possible? What do you reckon?
I reckon we're surely. Come on. Collective minds of baseline drunks.
Yeah, well, our collective minds are running on probably about a 30% strike.
Can we just how about we just how about everyone in the chat just give us your best tip for a win, right? And then
that is really bright. It is brightening up my entire freshly shaved dome. You play a movie off the top of my head. This screen is so bright. But anyway, we won't do that. We'll run through the games. But yeah, we don't have to tip every game. We don't even have to postulate any of them.
No, the ones people feeling confident on.
Yeah.
This is a confidence bet. Because we need a win under our belt.
We do. I reckon, I don't know. I mean, maybe even just a small win.
Even if it's not big, it's fine. Doesn't have to.
We don't need.
We can build on it.
14 leagues. Cody
Cowboys, all right.
That's
Mayo.
obviously just. Cody's just trying to piss me off with the Chargers. That's
what
a nice guy. I can't even touch an Eagles game now after I thought that we might get done in by the Lions, and then we beat them just so convincingly that it wasn't even a contest. So it's like, I was happy that Philly won, but I think
Cowboys $1.20 done.
Dog the crew.
That's the sort of thing we're looking for.
All right. I can't comment on the Chargers game, so if like a whole bunch of people really think the Chargers are going to win,
shit game, no good. Miami, Houston.
Well, they're both 1-7. The Dolphins are at home 0-3, and the Texans are away 0-4. So something's going to happen. Maybe it's a draw.
Draw. Hey, you know what that'll be paying.
Yeah, I don't think we should bet on a draw if we're trying to improve our results. But
what about the Ravens? They're $1.35 against the Vikings.
What else have we got? Let me find the Vikings and the Ravens. Line of.
Who are the Ravens got?
The Ravens got a few. They got Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Perennial MVP candidate. I don't know. The Vikings have sort of been all right. I don't know. I'm sort of surprised to see they're 3-4, but I think they've had their moments. Who else have we got here?
So we're avoiding that one?
Oh, you'd have to pick the Ravens, wouldn't you? 5-2. They're on a bit of a mission.
Straight up.
The line there over under it's higher than their game, so they must think there's a bit of scoring to be done. But yeah, I don't mind the Ravens. I don't mind the Ravens.
New England.
Where are they? Playing the
50.
Panthers. 3-0 on the road. I don't know. We seem to be jumping to the teams that I really just don't know much about. I haven't watched much of them.
Because they're all the ones that are short.
We'll get it. Yeah, we'll get it out the way early.
Decent favourites.
Well, Patriots haven't lost on the road, so I mean, I don't know if they're favoured. Possibly, but it's the old adage though with NFL, you've got to pick at least a couple of upsets per round because they happen every round. There's always
it'll be the games we're not picking.
Yeah. Like something like that. The Giants at home, who are 2-6, but the Giants beating the Raiders away, like something like that would be one of the upsets that you just go, yeah, righto, makes sense.
So is that where we're going, Giants?
Can be fairly sure Ruggs isn't going to have much of a game because he's no longer playing. So Giants might not be a bad one. What are the Giants paying?
$2.39.
I would chuck them in. Because
that was fucking. Yeah, sorry, I was cutting you off there.
No, that's all right. I was just saying, look, the Raiders have got a lot of stuff going on. They've had their coach bloody jettisoned out of there for all sorts of naughty behaviour. They've got Ruggs, he's in a lot of trouble with the law, so he's gone. They're dealing with a lot, and they're on the road. I think the Giants would be a solid bet.
Done. How's
comments?
What about Buffalo Bills? They're $1.09 versus the Jaguars $7.50. Jaguars are shit, are they?
Yeah, they've got
Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think Robinson. I got Robinson in my fantasy team. I don't think he's actually playing, so that takes a lot of their firepower away.
I'm not suggesting betting on the Jags, but I'm just saying that's a big margin. $1.09 to $7.50 for a 2-horse race.
Yeah,
people must think very highly of the Bills, right?
Yeah, well, I think the Bills they would be one of the teams that folks are saying have got a decent shot at going to the big dance. So,
yeah,
if they're going to have that crack and they're actually going to go deep into playoffs, they can't afford to drop games like that.
We'll just avoid it.
I think we should definitely avoid it. The only thing I would consider
4 legs so far
is covering the line, and even then, I'd be nervous with the Jags.
Yeah, we'll just better to don't want to get too cute with it. Better just avoid it.
Peter B. Saints to beat Titans without Henry. Yeah, because Derek Henry is out. So hang on. I don't think the Saints have got him. I think it's the Rams.
Saints versus Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah, Titans versus Rams, yep.
So I think Peter B will be referring... Hang on, Saints.
It's all right. He'll probably come in the comments.
Now Cody's got it as well. So I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe it's just 4 teams on the field and they just beat the shit out of each other for like the length of 2 games. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, I got Saints versus Falcons.
Yeah, I've got
5:01 tomorrow.
Yeah, I got Saints and Falcons. So we'll wait for a confirmation on that.
Oh, that's next week. He's like the Saints against the Titans is Monday the 15th.
Ah, okay.
You probably scrolled a little too far on the Sportsbet app. I did that last week when we were chatting. I went too far down. Went to the next week.
That's all right. Future bet. Well, the same thing could be said, but I imagine the Rams would be favoured. Yeah, and they are. It's -7. So yeah, I don't know about that one. I think Saints Titans next week. Okay, cool. This one I find really interesting, and someone mentioned it before about the Cardinals.
Oh yeah,
you mentioned the Cardinals. Cody mentioned the Cardinals. They're playing the 49ers. 49ers haven't won a home game yet, and the Cardinals are cooking. And judging by what this says here, just on ESPN, they reckon that San Francisco is actually favoured. So
Yeah, they are.
I would be strongly.
You're getting 239 for the Cardinals.
It
So
depends.
we're on them then.
Is Kyler Murray playing? That's the question.
Don't know. Yeah, he looks like he might be questionable because only
This is questionable. Expected to
Garoppolo
test
is
his
showing in the
injury.
quarterback prop markets.
Pre-game warm-ups. All right, so that's why. That'll be why, because Kyler Murray's a maybe. So
we avoid them.
That's a tricky
don't
one.
risk it.
If Murray's not playing, then that changes everything. So, Packers and Chiefs. I heard someone refer to old mate Aaron Rodgers. I heard them refer to him as Throw Rogan the other day, and I nearly fell off my chair laughing. So there is that. He's got some interesting views on the world. Yeah, he's been following Joe Rogan's health advice apparently, so that's why he's not keen on the jab. So that's his decision.
Well, what's Joe's health advice?
Oh,
I just know that he got it. I can't remember when he got it. I watched some video of him talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I just pump myself with this shit and this shit, and 3 days later, I'm right, mate. I'm standing here, I'm right." You know, I'm like,
mushrooms and Tic
pretty good on
Tacs.
you, man, because you're a pretty fit dude. And like, good on him. Don't get me wrong, good on him. Like, he looks after himself at his age or whatever. But like, yeah, like it's just, mate. And not everyone's got these millions of dollars that can afford these cocktails of fucking drugs that you got injected in yourself. Like, yeah.
All right. So who else we got here? And the what are the odds for KC over Green Bay? So Chiefs and Packers. This is a really good call because Rodgers is out. Seeing the words Mahomes is shit. That's quite surprising.
So is he out because of what? No vax?
I think so.
Fuck.
I think so.
Shit.
They're sort of likening his situation with Kyrie's, but there's two different scenarios.
I wonder with these professional sports, athletes that there's so much sports science pumped in.
They got so much access to stuff.
Like so much, like, I don't know, what do they not believe all the nutritionists that have told them, like, oh, this is going to do this to your body all along the way? You know, I don't know. It's somewhere along the line. It doesn't make sense to me why they. I would have thought everyone of those would be on board. Yeah. Like,
well, some healthcare provider and Rodgers have parted company after being joined at the hip since 2012. He's like, guys, medicine, whatever.
There's one thing that I don't mind about it, but I still think they're a bit dumb because of their beliefs. But like, I don't mind people standing up for their convictions. That's something I do like to see, where they go, no, I don't give a fuck if you pay. I don't care if you tear up that paycheck in front of me. I'm not doing that because this is what I believe. And there's something that's good about that, because you don't see a lot of that these days.
Yeah, I know.
You know, most people will just sell out. Most people just go, oh, yeah, righto, and then they'll just deal with whatever behind the scenes, you know, because they want the money. But, like, I just think that, okay. Look, like, I mean, I don't agree with it, but they've got every right to do it.
So apparently he's tested positive to COVID, apparently. That's why he's out. So, yeah, it's all happening.
Well, no wonder he's following Joe's health advice, because if he's not vaxxed, then it's his only option, isn't it? He's fucked otherwise. Well, not fucked, but I shouldn't say that. But, like, you know, he could be in trouble if not. So, I mean, they know a lot more about it. Like, they're bringing out a pill that we're going to be able to take if you get it.
Yeah, right.
It's been, like, approved, or it's about to get approved with fucking Australian TGA or whatever it is. Like, where it reduces the hospitalisation rate of COVID, like 80-something% or whatever it is, something crazy. In unvaccinated people. That's in unvaxxed people.
Christ.
It's like,
we can go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
a rabbit hole. There's no point.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
It's interesting to see what happens, but
But when I read that shit, I was like, wow, that's like a game changer for everything. Like, so what? We will all just have a jar of these pills in the cupboard at home, and oh fuck, tested positive for COVID. Pop a couple of these, take a couple of days off work, I'll be sweet.
Yeah,
you know,
and you're off. You're off and running, mate.
And away you go. Is that what it's going to be like in the future? Like, I don't know.
know.
Whatever. Let's get off that shit. We've had enough talk. But sorry, I started on that. But I just
Yeah,
found
you're
that interesting when I read that. I was like, shit.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
interesting. I might look into that. Might get on Facebook and do some research about science. Me, that is, not anyone else. All right.
It's all right. We'll leave that for the tinfoil channel. Baseline.
So we're still.
We've got
stuck
two
here
more.
on-
We need
on
two
the
more
Packers.
legs.
We're stuck
more
here on the
legs.
Packers and Chiefs. I
What
can
are we
see what
doing?
people are saying about the Packers still winning because Jordan Love will come in to play quarterback. I don't know, man.
Much shop? Is he any good?
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with Jordan Love. I wouldn't have thought.
And
Rather.
Mahomes is playing a bit shit, isn't he? I think I saw it.
Well, the Chiefs are kind of having one of those like what do you call it? Like almost like a hangover year. I mean, they're still 4-4. They're not exactly blown out of the water, but you know, if you saw other teams that weren't the caliber of the Chiefs sitting at 4-4, you'd go, yeah, they're fucked. Their season's done because they'd be in a tough division or they'd be in a tough whatever. The Chiefs have got enough upside though to be able to correct it and sneak into the playoffs. So I don't know. It's a tough one. If we were going to take a team in that game, I think you'd have to have a crack at the underdog. Because
really the Packers.
Yeah, I think so. Because if you look at the way they're running, their whole team is running really, really well. They've got coverage across the whole field. Yeah, I think if you were going to go for it, because I could see this going either way. I think that's what the chat's sort of saying as well. Like you could see
they're in $3.73. Yeah. That's adding some serious value on multi now. That's beautiful.
Cody's saying though as well. That's a good point. He's saying that the +7 line is pretty good value. It's a good point because even if the Chiefs get over the line by a small value,
so Andy reckons he's a good outsider. Packers. He's with you on that.
Yeah, all right. I reckon do it. Go the Packers. Let's go full cheesehead nation. Do we have enough legs, do you think?
We've got 5.
Do we want to just put the last leg on the Tuesday game just so that we can all freak out before Tuesday?
We could do that.
It could be like the cherry on the Sunday.
So what's Chicago versus Pittsburgh, is it?
The young fella for the Bears. He's bloody.
Is it Justin Fields?
Justin Fields, yeah. Against the old wise heads of Pittsburgh, who aren't exactly setting the world on fire at home.
How do you say this dude's name? Roethlisberger?
Roethlisberger, yeah. He's getting a bit old, isn't he?
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know about Fields, Cody. I'm not ready to say shit by any means because I've seen some things and I just go, wow, he's got some talent. And Chicago really aren't that good. So I think I think it was his first game or his first 2 games. Like he got sacked. Like it was like a record amount of times for a kid in his first couple of games to get absolutely pummeled. Like they gave him no protection at all. So I think he's had a bit of a unique start to his career. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes good, but yeah, they got to protect him. Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm not really leaning a particular way with this, so maybe we just leave it with what we've got, unless anyone else has got
$20 already.
Yeah, I like what Andy B says too. The Steelers think they'll put Fields under too much pressure. I reckon that's probably a very fair call.
5-legger.
He's second last with interceptions behind Mahomes and also most sacked. Yeah, there you go. Key statistician, Cody. Love your work, mate. We need Cody on next week, I think, to talk NFL. He's onto it.
Yeah, get him on.
He's onto it. You know when they say a blank check's in the mail, it's just blank as in it's just a bit of paper. It's got no semblance of a check. No one gets paid. No one gets paid around here.
My multi's on. I'm going to post it in the Discord.
All right. So we're leaving the Steelers out. Left them out.
Oh, you can add it. Optional Optional extra if you want to add it.
There you go.
If you feel
Optional
like
for
a
value.
bit of extra
I like it.
heart pumpage. Chuck the
That's
seals
right.
in.
Just, yeah, the Bears' offensive line is pretty ordinary. Dead right. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. So we'll chuck that in the Discord, and
Had to whack
if you
that
want a
in there.
piece of that action, get amongst it. Coco's gone up to 79 while we've been talking, by the way. So
What? We should have bloody invested at the start of this conversation.
should have invested at the start of the conversation. Could have made another, I don't know, $4 or $5. Would have been fantastic. Would have been huge. All right, so NFL in the books. That's good. Now,
Done.
the other thing we're going to look at talking about, we've got two other particular subjects. Keen to hear from the chat if there's anything in particular.
What's on people's minds?
Yeah,
What have they been buying? Anyone bought anything sick lately?
Yeah, send some pictures in or something. We can just run amok.
Anyone got anything mad? Mad card? Mad jerseys? Something new? New console? Something exciting? New car?
Anything. Give us something. Let's get excited about something. There's no lockdowns anymore.
I love
I will
new shit.
I will show Peter B's Facebook post from the Cherry Crew, though. I want to show that. You might be able to see it here, but
What do we got here?
this is the Optimum Coleman card, as well as his whole collection of the I'll get back to Mayo's comment in a minute.
Cody bought a Switch and a new bed.
That's cool. Send some photos, Cody. Actually, no, save it for
I hope
next
you
week.
broke the old one with a bit too much action.
Jumping up and down, winning baseball breaks, I reckon. But yeah, these are the collection.
Bloody nice. Is this Peter's collection?
Yeah, this is Peter B's.
Wow.
And the homie,
Oh boy.
Bauer did him a solid and got a particular card into the right hands, into Peter B's hands. So it was a very nice gesture of hanging.
Awesome.
I may have had a little inside
top bloke, Bauer.
Inside information about that, and was watching the tracking and was waiting for a reaction, and then we had the feeling like it might have been sent to the wrong house or something because there was no reaction. It turns out, it all finished well, and Peter B was really happy. So it was very cool to see from the sidelines. But yet another example of good peeps in the hobby, getting things into the right hands and
hobby love.
Yeah, exactly. That was bloody cool though. I was very happy to see that roll out. So yeah, very, very, very cool. I'm assuming that Cody.
How much was your Switch, Cody? What are they worth these days? Are they gone down in price?
Andy B.
I don't want to pay $500 for one, but I'll pay a couple $100 because I just want to play all the old school Nintendo. Like I want the Nintendo library. I want all the old school Nintendo games.
I went to High Point the other day. There's a shopping center, and walking through there, and they had. You always have a couple of friends throughout time that sort of bought the joystick and the 3-button type controller, and then they set it up to like a MAME generator and played all the old games. And
but it
was kind of like I knew people that did it, but it was kind of cobbled together. And I saw at the shopping center, it was like a full productized one. It looked awesome. It was like it had the 4 sticks and buttons. So it was
what one was it? Is this for NBA Jam?
It was not what I saw. They were all like Nintendo games and stuff. But yeah, if you give me NBA Jam and that Ninja Turtle arcade game, I think I'd be done.
$1,000, and you can get like What I really like the original ones. I like to buy the original and restore it and have it like. That's what I'd really like. But the new ones is really, out of the box, plug and play, and they're good to go. And they've got nice LCD screens and that in them. They are a bit nicer, but
Some of
yeah,
them, if
like
they've
I'm a
got
sucker
the
for the old school shit, but
with the TV in it, with the dome screen.
yeah,
and-
like with the whole old school thing. But because
Yeah.
because I'm sort of nostalgia, you know, I lived that during those times as well. So it's sort of
yeah,
that's why I like it. But I can understand, like, if you're a young bloke today, you wouldn't want that. You want
you
the
just want it in
fucking
the
one with
big
the LCD
screen,
screen
4K
that
this,
connects
you know,
online. You can play
Yeah.
against NBA Jam against fucking players over in America or wherever, you know, on your arcade console. Because
Yeah.
that's what they do. They all connect online and shit. You just play
Yeah.
with people like worldwide.
My mate,
Whereas-
his name's Handy. He lives in Mildura, and I've been up to his place in the Hand Cave. It's this massive, like it's probably big as half my house, and he's got one of the original NBA Jam machines.
Yeah,
And I
right.
must admit, as soon as you see it in the corner of the room, it's just like you just get that, you know, just that vibe.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. So,
What
yeah,
about
just to,
Daytona? Did you ever play that much? Daytona? They seem
oh
actually worth a
yeah,
bit of money.
yeah. I tried to play it. I wasn't very good at it though, admittedly. I was always jealous of the people that could play with the gears because I could never do that.
Oh
They'd
yeah,
always, like-
intermediate level.
Yeah, they'd lock the gears and then just start drifting around corners, and I was like, I can't do that shit.
Always got the
End up
manual.
doing the big tumble,
Yeah.
smash it to pieces. But Andy B was the same before. Sorry about that, Hendo, because Bauer had sent the card over to Peter B, and we were sort of like, oh, what's going on? But it turns out Peter B was out of action, and Andy picked up the mail, but he didn't say anything. He just sort of picked up the mail and apparently put it to the side. And so Bauer and I are looking at this Australia Post link going, fuck, it was delivered like yesterday afternoon. Like, what's going on? Like, I hope it's gone to the right house and all this. And meanwhile, it was sitting in there the whole time. So yeah,
Fuck, did we say something?
Yeah, well, I think that's what Bauer was saying. He's like, oh, you know, do I send him a message? It's meant to be a surprise. So you know, for all the shitty Australia Post stories out there, this one's actually kind of fun. So
I found Australia Post quite reasonable lately. Like, I know for you guys down there, you just struggled a bit, but like lately, I've found it pretty fucking good, to be honest. Like,
I don't think it's any, like, I don't know, it's probably an unpopular opinion, but I actually don't think it's any worse now than it was middle of last year. It doesn't feel it anyway.
Oh,
it's no just way. It's been going on for so long that I think people probably get a little bit more upset about it, maybe. But I don't know. Yeah. I don't feel like it's that much worse. I waited on a couple of things from Interstate over the last sort of 12, 18 months that were like significantly delayed. But that's I mean, I've had countless amounts of shit sent here. So, I mean, it's like, you know, I can't stand on a little mountaintop and go, oh, I've had 2 things go wrong. It's like, yeah, but you've probably had 100 things sent to your house, mate.
Yeah. So 2 out of 100 is not that bad, really.
It's like, it would happen in normal times. You'd have 2 out of 100.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I don't think it's as bad as everyone's making out. But look, others might have had worse experiences. I don't know, but in my experience, it hasn't been any worse than it was for the last 12 months. Now, Mayo just said before that he bought a card that looks like Hendo with hair.
What?
I don't know if he's talking about an electrode, like with like a mohawk or something on it. I don't know.
Is that why you like Electrode?
Yeah, it looks like me.
Hey, who's in Pokemon, right? Because I don't know the set that well or anything, but like,
I might not.
I know they, you know, we should, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. Let's just stop. We're going to make fools of ourselves. We're going to start trying to talk about Pokemon. I'm not doing that. Let's not do it.
You're not doing it? You're bailing out.
Let's move right along. I'll ask Cody in the chat sometime or something.
Yeah, all right. No, fair enough. Because I wouldn't, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have a fucking clue. So, all right. So, if you want to know, here's a good example of just too small. Give me 2 seconds. We're going to find, here we go. This is a picture. Oh, God. It's the old story, isn't it? Where I can't screen share things properly because I can't bring
It's
on.
all right, mate. We're a patient bunch here. Nah, it's all good, man. Must be a pain in the ass. If it was me doing that, at least you get it up eventually. I wouldn't even be able to do that.
That sounds like a different type of podcast.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that when I said that.
Jesus. We might move
Move
the
along.
bloody
Did you see that jersey in the back?
the-
Did you see Luca's fucking game winner today?
the algorithm. Hang on one sec. Here we go. I got it now. So this is my theory behind like an electrode. I just figure he just looks like me when I'm out on the piss. Look how happy he looks. He's
That's
about
Hendo
to,
when he's looking for a blue.
yeah.
He's
Look
walking
at him,
around
he's-
the pub. Fucking, there's some cunt. Come here, you cunt. So it looks like he's saying, come here, you cunt.
That's Hendo when someone's at the bar saying that Giuliano Alesi will never amount to anything. That's the look I give him. Anyway.
There's heaps of ads that can help me on TV with that problem, Andy reckons. Thanks, mate. I'll
Yeah,
have to
that's good, isn't
sit
it?
up late night and watch them.
Oh, look out.
Oh, Adam Smith is in town.
Hey. Beats and breaks in the house.
Custom cards.
All right, here we
Custom
go.
NRL prison.
This is Mayo's. You should see this mouse flying around the fucking place. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Here we go. This is apparently me with hair, says Mayo.
That's actually
Yeah,
fucking
maybe.
pretty good, to be honest. Like I'm not laughing because I'm actually like, is that actually you? I'm squinting. Mate, that's fucking brilliant.
You're gonna blur
We need to Photoshop that name. Just Hendo.
Johnny
Just get rid of
Fuller
that.
for the States.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's good.
That's awesome.
We'll just put we'll put in the balls.
Saints, though, mate.
Well, just put the drunks in there. We'll just put drunks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Baseline instead of safety, and then Hendo. And then I'll get myself a wig or something. That's gold.
I like that.
That's gold.
Good.
Well played. Coco's up to 80. Jesus, surging.
What year is that from?
That'll be. I could actually probably pick
70
that.
something, right?
I reckon it's probably early to mid 70s. I'm going to say like 75, maybe 74, 75. I think because I've got some Eagles ones. That
Time traveling Hendo.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like that LeBron. Did you see that LeBron thing? That dude sitting in the back in the stands or whatever, and like.
Oh yeah, it was a.
And that dude in the hat just eating popcorn. It fucking did
Yeah.
look like him, but eh? And he was a
Yeah.
big dude too, like LeBron. Like he had the same stature and that, and like.
Yeah,
I was just like, man, that's funny when shit like that happens. It cracks me up.
yeah. He he's known the guy for a long time.
Oh right,
So,
right, yeah. So
like,
he
when
knew
he-
him
when
and
he-
all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to find because I'm sure I had a similar year, unless 76. There you go. I was close. But
76. That's a good call, by you. You said mid-70s.
yeah. So
You
we
know
got
your vintage football cards, mate.
so it's funny that CDC said that he also low key sees Dale in that photo. And now that Adam's actually just popped up in the chat, I've just brought up, I've got an old Eagles card from 72.
Oh yeah.
And I'll post it up on the screen. But Adam actually commented on it ages ago saying, is this card Dale? So
What do we got? That's it.
old Tom Dempsey. Adam was pretty sure that was Dale. About what is it? 30,
I'm pretty
35
sure that
weeks
is.
ago.
I think you might be right.
Oh, gold. So,
Oh,
yeah,
man,
so
that's
we've
good.
gone full time traveling tonight.
Be pretty cool. Imagine having a trading card of you. Like an actual, not just a custom jobby or something, but like you're a player or whatever. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I've
I
always
know.
thought that, even like when I sort of stopped collecting for a couple of years and that, like I've always thought like it'd be so sick. Like one of the best parts about being a professional athlete or whatever is just like trading cards and all the merch and shit. Like imagine just driving around, you just, oh, there's some dude wearing my jersey. Like it'd be a pretty funny
Yeah.
feeling.
It'd be pretty surreal in that regard. But the other thing too, I don't think it's any surprise why you see athletes when you see their houses and stuff where they've got like their framed jerseys from different clubs and different teams and that up on the
Oh,
wall.
you
'Cause
would. You'd treasure that.
You would absolutely. It
For
might because
sure.
you'll know 100%. Like this was the one I wore in my first ever game.
Oh,
Or,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
would always,
exactly.
if you really wanted to keep it, you'd be allowed to keep it.
Yeah, you just shove it down your shorts.
Yeah, for the most part.
Have to.
I remember
Like,
going to I remember going to Andrew Bogut's training center thing down in when it opened. Went down there. It's got to be 2012. I'm going to say roughly.
Yeah.
And we went all the way through their big, beautiful court, like recovery rooms, weight room. Like it was state of the art. But in certain rooms, like around the whole court, he had like one of his every jersey he'd worn. So he
Wow.
had like his junior jersey all the way through to like at the time it was the Golden State Warriors. And
Yeah,
so
right.
he had them all done up. And in the recovery room where the spa and they had other stuff there, he had this Drazen Petrovic like framed. I think it was Portland Trailblazers, like his early days, because that was one of his
Yeah, right.
heroes. That was
Serbian
cool though.
army.
Like you could just like if you've got money to burn, that you can sort of present everything really nicely and everything, and it's not too much effort.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it looked really smart. Like it looked really, really cool, and it was just placed. It was subtle. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like there was 50 million jerseys everywhere. It was just
Yeah, that's cool.
it was set out pretty cool. All right. Do we want to wax lyrical on the NBA a little bit?
Yeah. You been watching it?
Talk a little bit. Yeah, I watched a bit. Mainly just watched the games that I've been punting on if they happen to be on KO.
Did you see Luca's game winner today?
I did. I watched it back a few times too. The boss man. I can't believe they're 6-3. I think they're one of the worst rosters in the league, and they're somehow 6-3. So is it just
It's him.
Luka Magic and
Yeah.
and the little fella? What's his
It's
name?
him.
Brunson. Brunson's had a couple of absolute cracking games while Porzingis has been out. He put together, like, what was it, 25 and 10 rebounds for like a 6'2" guy.
Yeah, right.
The game I bet on Luka to have 8 rebounds, I think he had 4. The game I didn't touch,
I
he
find
got
it hard
11.
to bet on Luca defensively, on defensive stats. Well, like even though rebounds can be either, but like they get more defensive. But like I find it hard with him because I just think he can look so lazy sometimes on defense. But like he is capable of good things, but like I don't know. Just
Yeah,
I'm not
he is
really
very,
keen to put my money on that on his offensive stats. Fuck yeah, I'll be all over it.
You almost want him to go through a slump. So you want the lines to start moving, like, because I mean,
yeah. So
you don't get a great deal. You don't get a great deal of value for Luka to have, say, I don't know, 30, 10, and 10.
Oh, I think
considering
10 assists is fucking $1.60 or something. And you're like, come on, man, like 10
but
assists.
considering
You know how hard that is, like, come on.
Considering how many players in the league, like the likelihood of them getting 30 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, right? It doesn't just happen every day.
Yeah.
And yet, Luka would probably be the shortest price favorite to do that on any given day.
You have to be close.
You wouldn't get much value for it. So, I don't know.
I get the idea people probably like betting on him too. There's probably always a fair bit of money around for him.
I would think so.
He's the sort of player that's, a lot of people would see as safe.
Yeah, I think if you were trying to, I don't know, if you're just adding it to something else. So if you had a feeling something else was going to happen in the NBA, and you wanted to throw down maybe, I don't know, you might just chuck in Luka to get 25, 6 and 6.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
It might get you like
exactly.
$1.80 or
And
something,
that's
and
just
it's
a day in the office for him. That's nothing even
yeah,
special.
but it's
Like,
enough to
that's right.
marry it up to
But
your other
but
guests.
$1.60 in a multi could, that's adding 60% on whatever your original price was there. So like,
Yeah.
some
Good old Luca. Yeah, he's a bit of a mission. The other one was the other game today was it Phoenix and
Yeah,
Atlanta?
I watched a bit of that game and then I actually stopped watching it and I forgot I even had that multi on that I posted in the Discord that I had a little win on. But
Nice to
yeah,
have
it
an
was like,
unexpected win.
yeah, that was lovely. They're always the great ones. And you log in, you're like, what the hell? Was there more money in here? But
So
yeah,
I don't mind Atlanta. Like I
yeah, I know
know
you like Atlanta. I'm not really a big one on them for like winning the whole thing outright, but
now that
I don't get
Milwaukee's
me.
won it, man.
I do like them,
Mm.
right? And I think they're capable of big things, but I just don't see them stringing it together.
They're
You know
probably
what
a
I mean?
player away, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, that's
they're
probably the
not
way
there
I'd
yet,
see it
but I
too.
think they're
But
I think
that
they're built
player's
to
got to
be a
be a
pretty
good
good.
player too, like not just an average. It's a fucking pretty good player that they need to bring in.
Yeah,
I think.
they'll need another player, but at the same time, like I think the foundation there for them for Atlanta. I mean, they're 4 and 6 at the moment. I mean, they're not exactly setting the world on fire, but they're kind of inconsistent a little bit. But if I look, just bringing up their roster, just to run off a few names, but Bogdanovic is good on his day. Capella's solid. Collins is starting to find his own sort of vibe and his own style. Guys like Dieng
It's hard
and
to pin down that
Gallinari.
Collins, because he's like
Mm,
he's a good
you
player
don't
to
want to bet on him.
watch. Like,
You don't want to bet
yeah,
on him.
but he's not a stat guy, is he?
Well,
He's
he
more
can be.
just
That's the problem.
yeah, I know,
That's the
but
problem.
like that's so, but he's not consistent stat guy.
No.
So like he's just if he's hot, he's hot. But the thing is, like he'll always throw in one mad dunker game or something. Like there's always some. He's always like he's an excitement reel, but
There was one
I
the other
wouldn't call
day
him a stat
where
machine.
I was looking at the line, and this is why Vegas and whoever else that does these lines, much better than I am. But I looked at him, and he was like, for him to get a 20-10 game against this particular team, like it was huge odds. And I'm thinking, on his day, he's a 20-10 guy, and
Did
I'm
he get
looking
it?
at it, just going, no, but he was way off. I think he had like 3 rebounds. He didn't get a
Yeah.
rebound till the second half, and I was just like, what? Like, how does the game even? How does the game even function for him not even to get a rebound in the first half? Like, it was mind-boggling to me. But then he comes out today against Phoenix, different style of play, obviously, and different outcome. But he ended up with, I think he got 20, 24 and 10 today.
Yeah, right.
So, like, when you see him with ridiculous odds for 20 and 10, I always think it's worthwhile having a crack because he's capable of doing it. And they don't always assume he's going to do it. So you can get some good odds on him. But
Well, the thing is, if you think about it, right, if you do that every game, do you think
yeah.
he'd say? So what were the odds? $26? Did you say?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that much, but it was.
Right.
It was. It
I
was
don't know where I got
significant.
that from, but how
Yeah, I
much
don't
do you
know.
reckon it was roughly?
I think the points one was the one that was the highest one. So I think they were sort of given for 20 points. I think they were saying he's going to pay like 350 or something.
So
And then
350. Do you think every 3.5 games he's going to get 20 points?
yeah, that's the funny thing. I mean,
If you don't, then
maybe.
don't bet on it. Then there's no value in it. If you think he only gets
Yeah,
one in every 5 games, fuck that. That's not a good bet. But if you think fuck
yeah.
that, man, it's John Collins. He's going to score that once every 2 games. Well, then fuck,
And
that's
it's
good value. You want to
good
get on
value.
that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
there you go. To give you an example, in my head, he could do 20 and 10 fairly often. If you look at his last 5 games, he was 8 and 7, 12 and 9, 13 and 12, 13 and 2, 26 and 10. So maybe the 20 points is crazy to even consider. So
And that's where I sort of and that's only gut feel because I don't know the numbers behind. I'm not one of these guys with spreadsheets and all this, but I do appreciate when guys throw that data up there for me to look at too, because
yeah,
I know it's important. But I can't be asked with all that shit, to be honest. It does me head in.
yeah,
All that shit. I
it
just prefer to
depends.
just keep it all up in my head, and I have my own little frigging thing going on in my head, But like
Yeah,
that John Collins, just don't feel. I just feel like he's not the the guy I want to be putting money on to score points in the game. You know, like
Yeah,
it might happen occasionally, but not often enough. Whereas someone like Trae Young, that can't score 30 every 3 games.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So if you can get over $3 for that, you're laughing.
Mm. But like
Which-
going back to their roster just really quickly, not to just hang on Atlanta here, but I mean, if you think of someone who can take a series and have like one really, really like a podium game,
Yeah.
like you've got Bogdanovic, Capella, Collins, Deng, and Gallinari are just good old vets. Huerta when he's up and about, DeAndre Hunter when he's up and about, Cam Reddish when he's up and about, Lou Williams, one of the best 6 men of all time. And then I haven't even talked about Trae Young yet. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think
Yeah,
by
but
the end
Trae's
of the
the only
season,
name there that is like red hot.
yeah, but like,
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're good
Yeah.
players. Don't get me wrong. Like, some of those guys are good players, but there's only one superstar there.
yeah, I just think now
Like,
that
none of the other guys.
we've had a
superstars.
finals where it's Milwaukee and Phoenix, I think every club will feel, every team, every franchise will feel like they got a shot at the title if they
Yeah.
just make a couple of
and,
moves.
and,
Like,
and they can, because like Milwaukee was in a similar position, you know, but
mm,
they just happened to, I think, get all those pieces of the puzzle correct, you know. Whereas Atlanta, you look at their side, there's too many young blokes.
yeah,
Too many
it'll come though.
inexperienced
I
young
think they're
blokes.
solid.
It'll come. That's right. Give it time, and
Mm.
it'll come. And some of that, you know, there'll be trades, and those guys will get better, and all sorts of things happen. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like with Atlanta, yeah, for me, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make the playoffs. They might make that play-in tournament, whatever it is. But
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon.
I'm not. I know you're a fan, but this will be
Yeah.
interesting to see whether it's good. You know, you want to have a difference. You don't want to all
You're
be the
selling.
same.
You're
Fucking
you're selling on the Hawks. I'm buying.
Reddish when he suits 15 plus. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm
Well, it's
not
interesting at the
really.
moment.
Reddish
I know it's really.
is a sort of a player that I'm like, don't know, not sure on yet. Like, I can see why people like him. You know,
He's not
like
consistent yet, but that's the
and
same
there's some
thing we're talking
talent
about.
there. Like, yeah, that's right. But like the Hawks, I don't know if that's the side where he's going to get a lot better. You know,
Interesting.
like that's sort of the problem I see. I don't see the Hawks as being a great developmental side. You know what I mean? And like they really need to just buy in good players. That's the way I
Yeah.
see it. Whereas
I
like
think they've got a good enough core. I think they'll do some moves. I haven't looked at the numbers as in terms of the in terms of the salaries and all that to see what they can move. But if you look at the 8 now, I mean, we're 10 games in, so I'm not trying to get carried away. But I don't think there's any way that it looks exactly like this by the time they get to the end of the season. Milwaukee will find their straps. The Celtics will probably figure something out. I think Atlanta will make a bit of a surge. I don't expect Cleveland to stay in the top 8. I don't expect the Wizards to, but they've been surprisingly good early. But yeah, Philly 8-2 with no Ben Simmons. That's what they call balls out. that's pretty impressive,
Boston?
I reckon.
What do you think of them?
I don't know what's going on with Boston because they've changed. You know, coach has gone to the front office. They brought in a new coach. Marcus Smart coming out saying that no one's passing the ball. It's just the Tatum and Brown show. I mean, they've kind of built the team that way.
They're no good, are they, this year?
I don't think so.
They? Is that
I
what
don't
I?
think
Yeah,
so.
I'm still trying to make my mind up on them. That's why I'm sort of pressing
Yeah.
you on it. But
I would say playing again.
sometimes
It's
they look
early,
really
but
good. But
yeah, it's early again. But I mean, I don't know. I just think it's 7 to 10 range.
Yeah, right.
By the end of the season, I mean, I can't see what they've got that puts them in the top 4 or anything like that. I mean, if I was to pick a top 4 right now, like hand on heart, I would say Brooklyn for sure. I'd say Miami for sure. I'd say Philly's still a bit of an unknown because I don't know what's going to happen because they're going to trade Ben. Just depends what they get back. So Philly could be a lock or they could fall in a heap. I don't know, but I kind of like the Knicks as well. I think they're pretty balanced. But the Bulls have been really surprising as well. So it's a cool start to the season, I reckon.
I'm not sure on the Bulls.
Yeah,
Watched a bit of that game today.
I think the roster's good. I think it's got a good ceiling. And I know people were pretty shocked when they started 5-1 and all that type of thing, but yeah, I don't know. I think that roster's nice. The Bulls one, I think they can do some damage, but Milwaukee will find their way further up into the standings. They've got
Tatum actually thinks he's Kobe when he's.
I don't mind. I don't mind Tatum or Brown as players. I just don't. I don't think they know. I don't think they know who the first banana and who the second banana is, and I don't think they have a third banana. I think that's the problem with Boston. Is they don't really understand.
Well, if they're not
the pecking order,
bloody careful, like Tatum will end up frigging pulling a James Harden on or something. You know what I mean? Like he'll end up wanting out of there or something. Like they need to pull their finger out.
CDC saying the Bulls bench might let them down. Yeah, I could see that potentially. I mean, they do have outs at the moment too, though, so you could counter that with, they're not being able to sort of develop Williams at the moment because he's out. Is Kobe White out at the moment?
I think he's out, injured. Yeah,
because he's like a little spark plug coming off the bench potentially. So I don't know. This is the whole point of it being sort of hilarious at this time of season because so much stuff is going to change. Yeah, well, let's move to the West. The Lakers are obviously like 5-5. I actually don't think it really does them justice for how shit they've looked. To be honest,
mate, that is a good record for how shit they're playing.
Yeah,
5-5.
Like
they are lucky.
You take it.
They are extremely lucky.
Yeah. I'll be very honest and say that I've not watched a single game of the Wolves, although I just don't ever expect the Wolves to do anything. But I like that Edwards kid, so it'd be interesting to see what they pull together.
Yeah, I haven't watched too much either, to be honest.
The Blazers, I think it might be the end of an era over there in Portland. It just something doesn't seem right over there. Whether Dame's injured or not, I'd say he probably has got something.
Some niggling injury.
Yeah, I think so. Even just from the Olympics and that type of thing, he hasn't had much of a rest. He's been doing what? He did Space Jam. He did the Olympics. He's just straight back into another season.
Oh yeah, the Lakers. Cody's saying, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Blew big leads in both of those too.
Mm.
I like Memphis. I like the way Memphis is built. I think they're kind of fun. Are they going to win the title? No, but they're fun to watch.
Fucking praising Ja Morant last week, and then he's played shit most of this week. It's normally the way.
Bye.
Put the mocker on commentator's curse. Yeah,
it's all
right.
No,
I like Memphis too. I really like Ja. Ja's fucking great to watch. Memphis is a good team to watch. They're pretty exciting and young, and yeah, I think they got a lot of upside.
They can fall in a heap pretty quickly too.
That's the problem, though. That's right. They can fall
that's the young side.
Heap, but yeah.
I don't really see any of these bothering much. So I mean, it might work in the Lakers' favor. Like, how many years watching the NBA where it was all about the West was just that much better than the East? And
mate, forever.
It's going to be interesting this season because I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. I won't put the Wolves in there yet, but those bottom four are going to be the bottom four. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, they're all considerably worse than who's above them.
But that only changed when LeBron went Lakers.
How do you mean?
Like the lopsidedness.
Yeah, I think
you know what I mean?
A result of him coming over to the West. A lot of teams.
It changes the whole thing because he's he's the best player playing currently, and he currently, he goes from one conference to the next. It's going to change, like all of a sudden you got the Lakers just sky high now.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to drag the whole conference up. But overall the conference is much stronger too, I think.
Yeah. There's some weird stuff going on in the West though, because Denver have sort of got that Denverish quality about them, where there's no one that really, I don't know, there's no one that really electrifies me when it comes to watching them play, but they're solid. They know how to win, and they're well coached. So it'll be interesting to see.
Everyone was spruiking that Michael Porter Jr. He's done nothing. Every
Yeah.
time I shouldn't say that because I'm not a bloody NBA player, but like, you know, like from what I've seen, he really hasn't done a lot, you know, like, and like people were banging on about him, like,
I think
I was watching breaks and that, and Michael fucking Porter Jr. is sweet, you know, whatever, like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? Like, yeah, I mean, I knew him, like, but I didn't think that much of him, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I think a lot of every NBA player, even if they don't make the
but
court,
if you look at his, look
like,
at his skill set and his size, I can see why people get excited at the potential that he could have, because he could play like a KD in terms of, you know, how big and agile he is and
but
how much
he's
reach
not
he's
talented.
got. No, he's not.
You can
No,
see
he's
that,
not.
like, Blind Freddy could surely. Like, KD's fucking talented as hell, you know, like, but I don't know, like, and I know I'm an armchair critic here and that, but, like, that's what we do here, right? So, like, but, yeah, I just think he's not as good as, like, KD, so he could never be, people in there, if they're thinking that, buying, like, his cards, going, oh, fuck, this guy's the next KD, well, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite
he's just not as good.
I think it's,
you know, like,
I think it's just someone that might be in that mold. I think that's
how's it going, Magda?
Oh boy, Maggie's here.
Thanks for your tips yesterday.
Good show that was. Oh my god. I saw that from a distance. There was just no winners at all. They were running backwards
It's
on the
good,
track.
bit of fun.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I could see the Nuggets. Interesting to see what will happen with them. You know, no Murray at the moment, as CDC was saying. I don't know when he's due back. It's an ACL, so it'll be late in the season, if at all, I think, for Murray. So they might just be treading water, and maybe they'll look at the trade deadline and see if they can do a deal. But you got to assume the Lakers will come back up into the mix, and the Clippers as well. They're not bad. So
Simo to Denver.
Simo to Denver.
That's what B-Dub and I don't know who else, Bauer and whoever else got on that.
Yeah, a few people got onto that.
That's like bloody almost 2 months ago now. Everyone was getting on that Denver. Yeah. Ben Simmons to Denver.
I can't really see it. Like it's a place where, unless they really wanted to take the ball right out of Jokic's hands, then I can't see it.
So the Joker, like, you look in the history of NBA, right, and quite often trades don't make sense. You know, like, and you look afterwards, and you're like, if you would have proposed that trade before, you go, fucking no way. You know what I mean? And then, like, and then, but it happens. You know, and because they've got plans, like they got long-term plans, or, you know, they've seen things out of this player that me and you don't see. You know what I mean? And know what he's capable of, and that he can fit into this certain role or whatever it is, you know. So like,
and plus they might have 2 or 3 more moves up their sleeve.
Yeah, and they might be already thinking, oh, we're going to fuck him off anyway. We're going to go for another trade after him, but we know we can use him as leverage or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
So like,
there's a lot at stake.
Who knows? There's a lot could say. It would not surprise me that like, hopefully for the boys that got on, that he goes to Denver, at least for one day, you know, so you get paid out and then you can fuck off again.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, he gets traded to Denver and then moved on from there to somewhere else.
Imagine that. Say we got on like Warriors or something, right?
Yeah.
And like he went there and then he went to Warriors.
Via Denver.
Both of us out.
That'd be crazy. Speaking of the Warriors, though, Peter B was saying, how about the Warriors, basically? And it'd be interesting to see what they'll be like when they get Clay back, if he's the old Clay. And so it's one of those funny things that we just go, like Philly in the East, you've got one of their best players there that's not playing and not part of the team, and yet they're still holding it together at, 8-2 or something. And then you flick it over here to the Warriors, and they're 7-1, you know, with arguably their second best player.
Do you reckon they talk about it in training, about Ben Simmons? And they like talk about like, and before they're going out the game and shit, like, fuck, we got to show him, you know, we got to show him what we fucking Mayo we can do without him, and all this sort of shit, you know what I mean? And use it as like motivation. And like,
I think it depends on what the actual real story is of the relationship there. Like, if the players were all in good stead with each other, then they probably wouldn't. But if it's legitimately toxic, I
mean,
can imagine.
publicly they sort of seem to have each other's back a bit, but like
Yeah.
behind the closed doors, it didn't
never
seem
know.
like those little images we seen when he was in training there, looking all awkward and that. That didn't look too good.
Yeah.
Didn't look
Nah.
like his teammates were too happy with him.
It's yeah. You could say it's a one-off though, and sometimes if you watch the one video long enough, you know, it looks worse than it really was.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like I've seen 5, 6, 7 of these videos come out. It's just people keep talking about the one. So
And if that was you though,
know.
you put yourself in a Sixers player's shoes,
mm,
you'd be like, tell him to piss off. We don't want him here.
it's a,
Wouldn't you?
yeah,
I would. That's how,
30 million-
honestly, how I
$30
would
million.
feel. That's how I would feel. I'd say,
Yeah.
tell him to fuck off. We don't need him. We don't want him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would be like, fuck him. I'm going to show him that we don't need him. We can win without him. And make him want to come back here. Be like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you know, fucking, you know, like,
Yeah.
that's human nature. Like, these
It
guys
can
are
be
the
character
same,
building.
man.
It
You
can
know,
be
these
team
guys are-
building through that kind of
I
adversity.
reckon that they're using it as motivation,
Hmm.
personally. It's
I
too
don't
much
think
of
it can
a
last.
coincidence that he's out and they're going real good.
I don't think it's sustainable though.
I don't think it'll last
for a whole
either. That's
season.
right. Correct. It's not sustainable
you
over the whole
could-
season.
You can use
100%
that currency to inspire people and, you know, talk about.
Punter said
Yeah,
the F word, mate. I say anything on here.
It's all right. Punter's paradise. It's all good. But yeah, I just don't think that currency, just the mental currency, I don't think it can.
No, I
don't-
agree,
I don't think
100%.
it'll last the whole season. But look, they'll. That's one of the things that's at play. They'll try and get the most out of that situation and do what they can with it. You know, like Peter B's talking about Embiid. It's like, yeah, I mean, I watched one of those games and Embiid was clearly playing when he wasn't 100% right. And yet when Embiid said that, you know, he felt he was a MVP candidate last year, everyone shouted at him in the media saying, well, you can't miss 25 games a season and expect to be the MVP. Like the Joker had missed, you know, he hadn't missed 25 games in his whole career sort of thing. And so when Embiid plays those games, but he's not as effective, like Shaq and Barkley, they sit there and they go, oh, you know, he's got to show that he's the man. He's got to be tougher. He's getting pushed around. It's like, yeah, but he's obviously playing where he's not 100% right. Whereas if he sits that game out, it's like, oh, you got to play more games. You got to be a leader. So Embiid's kind of fucked either way, I think.
Yeah, but the only thing you can do is you have to sit those games out until you're 100% right and cop the criticism and then come back and play well and shut everyone the fuck up. That's all you can do. There's no point in half-assing things, you know what I mean? Going, well, fuck, I don't want to miss out on MVP and then go out and play. You're never going to win MVP that way. Best way to go is go, you know what, this season's a write-off. Fuck it. I need to take 2 months off, get myself 100% right. You know what I mean? And then I can come out and play and show everyone that I'll be a candidate for next year.
Like, I think that's what someone like Lillard
there's nothing else you can
do.
Like, what else can you do? An injury is just one of those things that's like bad luck. You know, like there's nothing you can do. They're like, you're never going to win the award just because you showed you were good, you know, in fucking 60 games. Like, what about the other 22 games? Or whatever, however many you said it was. Like, I do agree with that. Like, you can't win an MVP if you miss that many games. That's a bit too many. That's like a quarter of the season. A bit more even.
COCO's up to 84, by the way.
But he's definitely, hopefully he can do it because he's a good enough player, dude.
Oh, he could definitely win an MVP, Embiid.
He's a good enough player to do that. He needs to be in the right side, though, as well. You know, these big men, they need to get fed the ball. You know, he needs to get fed the ball where he needs it. Just because he's not that much of a creative player, you know.
I think they've got a good. I think they've got a pretty good. They got a pretty good mix. If I was, I would.
I don't mind that Tyrese Maxey dude. I know Kai's a bit of a fan of him. I like him. I've had a couple bets on him just for assists and steals and that, and like, yeah, he's good.
He's a lively little
character.
character.
Bit more attention to him, and as you do, you know. That's one thing. Look, I mean, as much as DGen as betting and all that shit is, you know, like one thing it does do, it draws you more into the game, like more knowledgeable and on the game.
Like certainly individual stuff, yeah.
Because you watch games you wouldn't even watch before, like I do anyway. Or you know, like you watch it more closely, like not just the highlights or whatever, you know. Like
Sitting there watching the Dapto guinea pig
yeah,
races.
you're like, oh man, fucking Tyler Herro, that's a fucking steal. How come that stat's not fucking brought up yet? Oh, must have just
Messi's
been a fucking
rebound.
loose ball turnover or something. Wasn't a steal. Oh fuck.
Yeah, Peter B. I agree. I agree in the sense that I prefer to do a Kawhi, take the games off through the year that he needs to, and then be cherry ripe for the finals and just ball out and
That's
win
the
a
way to do
title.
it. That's right. Because that's the most important thing is the title. That's the number one goal for all those players, all the individual shit, whatever. They should just not even be worried about that. If it comes, it comes, whatever. Just look at that title. I'm just going to do whatever's best for the team to win that title. And if I'm a prolific scorer, that's what I'm going to fucking do. Because my coach is going to tell me to be a prolific scorer, you know? I've got an open license to shoot. So, like, it's just, yeah, it's a team game at the end of the day. All those individual.
It's a rough situation though.
things
If you think
secondary.
about to give Embiid a bit of a chop out here, is that if Simmons was still in the lineup and they had their whole squad ready, then you could look at Embiid and go, well, if he's not cherry ripe, then it makes sense. But the fact that they're down Simmons, like, and you're down Embiid, like if he was to miss 3 games, like what's the likelihood that they would win any of those 3 games when they've got their 2 best players out now? So I just look at it a little bit differently in that sense that, you know, it probably puts a bit more pressure on Embiid to not only perform, but to play. I think Tobias Harris was out for a game or 2 with, I don't know, health protocol. So I don't know if that means he had COVID or whether he, I don't know, failed a bloody forehead temperature test. I don't know what it means.
All the good ones overcome this shit, but you know what I mean? It's all, they don't have to scrape in, you know, like this, like about the injuries and all that. They just, all the good ones, man, it just happens. You know what I mean? It literally just happens because they're that good that you can't help but take notice. They're not trying to come up with excuses as to why they should have been MVP or something. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it just, that's the way I think anyway. I mean, you do get a bit of politics plays part in it. I will admit that. Like, you know, who got it last year? And like a lot of people say Giannis should have got it, but they're like, well, Giannis not going to get it 3 years in a row. And you're like, well,
yeah.
why the fuck wouldn't he? If he was the most deserving, shouldn't that just, who cares with it? But, you know,
LeBron's
and I'm not
missed out
saying he
on
was. I'm not saying he
MVPs that I
was
thought he should
or
have got.
wasn't or whatever. But
Yeah,
I just like, well, that shouldn't even be a thing. Like, the same player should be able to get fucking 10 years in a row if they're fucking just the best and blitzing it. But, you know,
Well,
the
that happened in
NBA got
Jordan's
this thing.
day.
They want to, because it needs to be competitive. You know, you can't have fucking one player win an MVP 3 years in a row. Yeah, he's not.
Well, it happened in Jordan's era as well, like when bloody
that's
Karl
right.
Malone,
They were stripping him of
Malone
awards.
won.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they just
Clyde
voter
Drexler
fatigue.
was one of them, wasn't it? There was one award that he got that Jordan was pissed at. I think I remember.
Yeah, it wasn't MVP for Drexler, but
no, I don't think it was MVP. I can't remember what
might
it
have been
was.
like all NBA type voting or
Is that what
something.
it was? Yeah, maybe he got selected in the first team ahead of him or something.
Yeah,
surely they would. Nah, that sounds ridiculous. They wouldn't have done that.
It wouldn't have been the first team, but it would have been something where it was,
yeah.
you know, enough people had said, you know, Drexler and Jordan are the best 2 shooting guards in the game.
And Jordan was like, well, fucking
glazed over,
compare
like,
me to him. Yeah.
Fuck you.
He's not even in my ballpark. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I mean, anybody that's seen them play, like, we know that that's actually true. But, like, don't get me wrong, Clyde Drexler was a fucking brilliant player. I'll give my left nut to be able to play ball like Clyde Drexler.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, Jordan's just a league of his own.
Jordan just tore him a new one in the finals and just sort of said, yeah, you think that guy's up to my standard?
So you're right, though. I suppose they have done it. And, like, that sort of shit does happen because sport's got to sell, you know. To be able to be sustainable long term, it's got to be marketable and, you know, have new fans and keep pleasing the old fans. And there's a lot of dynamic to it. It's not as easy as just sitting there bagging it out.
There's heaps of that stuff. And even with the teams that aren't going to win the title, like, they're just not going to win it. Like, it's just obvious they're not going to win it. Even before a game is played, you can look at some rosters and go, well, they're not going to win the title. Like, even if you look at Minnesota, right? You know, sorry if whoever's tuned in.
Need a miracle.
But, like, you look at Karl Anthony Towns, great talent. You look at Anthony Edwards, great talent. D'Angelo Russell, great talent. Like they are really good players, and if you go chuck them in on another team, I'm sure they'd do some amazing shit. But you can look at it at the start of the year and you can go Minnesota 99-1. You're like, well, why would I even put $1 on that? I might as well donate it.
Yeah.
Like
There's
it's
no
just
point.
it's never going to happen. And I had this argument for years with a mate of mine. We used to do a basketball website.
Like, it's impossible.
And I
almost.
always
There should be
said
longer
it-
than $99. There should be
it should be
$9,999.
But we also always used to look at. I used to look at the particular franchises, and back then Milwaukee was one of them. And we're talking like 10, 15
Ben
years
Simmons
ago.
of the Cavs. Magda reckons. Sorry,
I
I just noticed
don't know.
his comment there.
I don't know. Don't know about the Cavs. They're building some pretty good chemistry there. I don't know if they'd want to mess with that. But yeah, you look at certain clubs, like even this year, like you look at Charlotte Hornets, and it's like they can be exciting in their own right, but not for a second do you go, oh, they're a chance to win the title. Like there's only ever about half a dozen teams
They can't
that
be
you think
consistent
are a genuine chance.
enough.
That's why
over a
last year's
long
finals was
period
so
of
cool.
time. Like even if Charlotte got in the playoffs, they cannot sustain like the
7-game
different
series.
rounds and the different tiers of the playoff brackets that they got to get through to get to the finals. 7-game series, like no way. You know what I mean? Like they might be able to beat like say a net side. You know, one
If
game.
they got hot.
One game.
They
They
got
might
hot,
be
they
able to
might
win.
win a game.
Can they beat the Nets in a 7-game series? No fucking chance. They might be able to win 2 games if they're real lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like
I'd
they're
say
not going
Nets
to win
in
7
5.
games. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, well they're not going to win 4 games. Like, yeah, it's not going to happen.
No
I don't
way.
think. But yeah,
No
so
way.
and to do that multiple times to get in the finals, as well as just making them, like you start just reaching this slippery slope where you're like, there's no way they're going to fucking.
It unravels
It's
quickly. I know
impossible.
what you mean.
Yeah. Long
wanted
term,
to,
it's impossible. But they're all right to go on individual games. Like if you like them on a particular game against a particular team, fucking go for it. Because like you said, they can be red hot. So if you're feeling it, like I advise to look at them for some value if you can. You know, if they don't end up with the best record in the NBA, especially towards the end of the NBA, if they don't have the best record, you might be able to get a bit of value out of them because they'll still win some games.
I'll be interested to hear from Maggie what the Sixers are going to take back from
Oh yeah.
Cavs. I'd like to
Bucks
see a full report,
versus
Maggie. Of,
Nuggets in the final. Mag is calling it here.
He's lost it
already.
He's actually
He's
lost
lost it. You reckon? He's lost the plot.
I think he's lost it. The Bucks have a chance to get back because they're a champion team.
Well, the
but
Bucks,
the Nuggets,
the Bucks are an obvious
they'll be
chance, but
out.
the Nuggets, no hope. Yeah, I'm not really keen on the Nuggets either. But
not this season. Not this season.
I mean, to
All
be
right.
totally honest with you, I could actually see Phoenix again.
Yeah, they're solid. They're solid.
I could see that. Like, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I don't think they're the best side in the West, but I could actually see that happening. They're a good enough
But
side to be able to pull.
Their young
that
kids
off
have
in there.
taken the leap. The young kids have taken the leap, and everyone's roles are still contractually their roles. Like no one's feeling underappreciated.
It's basically
No
the same
one's
side.
wondering if they could do better on their own team. No one's looking for more. They're all bought in. That's what I like about Phoenix because the pecking order is really obvious. I mean, it's Booker's team, but all respects go to CP3 because he's the elder statesman, and everyone else falls in line underneath.
They can't just get shit done at CP3. Like, you look at his stats every game. There's always one column that's like, fuck, look at him go.
I think that's why everyone over the years has been so... Everyone's been so devastated for CP3 whenever he cops an injury, you know, in the playoffs and stuff like that. Because when he was with Houston, they were going to beat the Warriors, I reckon. And then CP3 did his hammy. Warriors went bang, bang, see you later. Like, but they were right there.
Such a loss.
They were right there. Yeah, massive.
Such a key. Like, Phoenix would be the same, man, I think. Without him, they'd be, you know, like you said, it's Booker's team, but I think we all know that, you know, who's got their hands on the steering wheel. Like, Booker might call that ultimate shot or whatever, you know what I mean? But the average, day-to-day playing is CP3's running the show there. I think.
I agree. And it's perfect for Booker Because Booker was asked to do a lot from a very young age, and they've been able to bring in someone like CP3. It's a masterstroke because now Booker gets
It
to
is
just
correct.
develop
I
into a
agree.
superstar without having to be a superstar. It's kind of perfect.
I'm
Luka could
loving
do something
the
like that.
Booker 2 or 3 threes in a game bet. Like he's still getting $1.60 for Booker 2+ threes in a game. You're like, man, he just shits that in. What are you talking about? Like he's making at least like 7 or 8 attempts a game. You know what I mean? So like, it's just like, man, I can't believe they're still offering that. I'll keep betting in it. Thank you. I should be, like usual. I'm not betting enough. I don't want to do my ass either. The day I do,
No.
he'll come out and roll his ankle or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Coco's at 88, by the way.
You're kidding. What is going on right now, mate? You're driving the hype up. People are buying in because you're talking about it. It's
Maybe.
Magda. Magda's buying Coco.
Magda must be buying Coco. Check it out. Just keeps flying up. It's 88.5 now.
10 first rounders for Simmons.
Yeah, 10 first rounders. That's how you get a deal done, Maggie. I'm surprised they're not on the phone to you now to come and be the GM. That's how you do it. That's how you do
10
it.
first round picks and Colin Sexton.
Yeah, you can't just get a deal done with 10 draft picks. Come on, man. You have to throw in Colin Sexton as well. What a classic. Hey, we're gonna have to wrap up soon, but did you want to run through? You want to run through a bit of F1, or do you want to leave it until next week?
Oh, we can
What do
leave
you
it
wanna
for
do?
the next week if you want to wrap it up. It's on early. Mexico, bit of action going
Tomorrow
on.
morning.
Mercedes looked pretty strong. Red Bull struggling. Lando Norris is starting from the back with a gearbox penalty. Ricardo
Danny
started
Rick
from
was
7th.
6th or 7th, was he? 7th.
Ricardo will be fighting with Ferrari this race. This will be a good race to watch him fighting Ferrari. Ferrari's coming good.
I raced this course, the Mexico course. I raced it today, 71 laps in Ricardo's.
Did you actually do the 71 laps?
I did 71 laps.
Full distance. Wow.
Yeah. And I beat Hamilton.
At Mexico.
Yeah. So I know
so
all the corners.
The track freaking awesome. Wow.
I can literally close my eyes and I can do the track in my head. It's
driving
listed
through
on the video
baseball
game.
Stadium.
Yeah, it's mad. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so the middle of the track where it just goes left, right, left, right, left. Like it's so easy. Hand up, video game. I get it. I probably had all these assistances on and everything. I'm not pretending to be an F1 driver, but it is really difficult to keep a straight line through that. You lose momentum, and now you're doing this. Like the snake through.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, where you're playing catch up with yourself.
Yeah, and if you miss the first corner, you fuck all 5 of them.
You have to stay on that line. There's a
race to slow right down.
Yeah.
But I found it really challenging, and I always like to do that on the video game before the actual race comes out because you get a little bit of a tiniest little, I don't know, like a Coco number percentage of understanding of what these guys go through. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's a good track. It's listed on the video game as being one of the easier ones, but I didn't find it that easy. I think there's heaps of easier tracks to race, but it was pretty cool.
I wouldn't say it's like ultra difficult, but I wouldn't say it's easy either. I wouldn't describe it as easy. Like somewhere for me, easy is like the bloody Austria.
Yeah, Monza's pretty easy.
Yeah, Monza's an easy track.
Silverstone's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, except it's sort of long. It's quite a big track, and there is quite a lot of turns in that track.
This one's really quick. It's like a really short track. Like
it's not that long, Mexico.
I was looking up the track record is Bottas. I think it's like 108.
Oh,
118.
yeah, right.
118 or 108. I think it's 108 because I was doing in the video game, again, lol, but I was doing like 126 or something. And that was like fastest lap of the race or whatever. Just dominating, really. But yeah. Hey, I wanted to give a quick ShipMyCards update only because I had been getting the, as you know, or a lot of people will know, the Muhammad Ali cards.
Yes.
And I wanted to just bring something
I've been going nuts on ShipMyCards, eh?
Yeah, it's good.
My fucking thing's got like 12 things in it already.
12?
Like, yeah, it's got like 8 slabs, and I've like all these different slabs that I just can't help myself, mate. I bought another one
Yeah.
of those Ferrari logos today.
Oh yeah.
Orange
Right.
refractor. I bought an orange fucking refractor Ferrari logo.
Nice. I'll show you the inventory. Obviously, I'm waiting for that 1-of-1 to come. That'll
Look out.
one day. But the reason I was bringing it up was these guys, right? So you get the card with the packaging from Tops. And so that's one. That one's in like a little plastic container. Some of them seem to be in plastic, some don't. I really don't understand it. But I went back through, and this particular one, the newest one, I had a charge on it of $7. And I was like, wow, why is it $7?
They come in a box.
Yeah, but then I went back through them all, right? And I wrote them a ticket, and I basically just said, hey, not sure if there's an error here, but I've been charged $7. These other ones I've been charged $4. These other ones I've charged $2. And, can you check it out for me, basically? And what I got back, I just explained what was going on. I just said, are they all meant to be one price or not? And this guy goes, I went through and it looks like these are all single cards to Arizona. I updated all prices to $2 and I'll talk with the team here as there seems to be some major confusion with this. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. So
I need to, because I had a charge of $5 on one of my ones.
Yeah,
I'll need to put a little
just
note
hit them
there
up, the little ticket section, and off they go. Bowers here. G'day, mate. Everyone fell asleep today.
Hey, bud.
Amazing. This must be like a fucking full moon or something. Everyone's having old man naps with
because he's half
gin.
He got half cut down the pub.
Pink gin.
That's why.
Coca-Cola. Good times. Just have a big night in. But yeah, so I think we've covered just about everything. Now that Bauer's here, he'll have to go back in the show to see all these kudos for being a good egg. But yeah, I think we've covered off just about everything, and I'll go and
you need to get that ShipMyCards so I can send back here.
Yeah, I know.
I'm only saying that because I got.
Yeah, I know.
No, but you need to get your hands on a lacy butt.
Yeah.
You don't have it, mate, until it's in your hands, mate.
Yeah, I know.
What happens if there's a fire over there or something? Like,
don't even
happen,
don't say. Surely there's no fire in bloody Arizona. Jesus. It's not like
insurance can't replace
it's really
that,
hot.
Mate.
Yeah, no. Not the stress that it went through to win it either. But yeah. It's shit, pink gin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
unglued.
pink gin and coke. Oh shit.
Oh, poor bugger. Good intentions though, I'm sure, but yeah, doesn't sound like a great drink. Anyway. All right. Well, we might wrap it up.
No worries.
Coco's at 88.6, so that's good. Keep climbing, old Coco.
It'll die now. The show's finishing.
Yeah, that's right. I know all the hype.
So it'll be by time.
We might get a sponsorship from Card Ladder and COCO SWAP.
Finance.
That's right. If you want to see your money,
COCO SWAP.
Just swap your money for crypto money that never comes back to you. It's a good slogan. Yeah. Anyway, all right, crew. We're gonna head off. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for the chat, mate. Thanks everyone.
Cheeky couple of hours. Thanks, Carpet Punter, as always. And we'll see you next Sunday.
Hit the bell icon.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, send me some.
Helps out with the algorithm.
Send me some suggestions for more pictures. Got some good ones during the week, so we'll get them. We'll get them made up during the week. I think one of them was the dude eating the big tub of mayo. I'm gonna get that on the wall.
Oh, that's right.
We need that for sure. All right. Take it easy, peeps. We'll talk to you soon.
See you
Cheers.
guys.